9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's a hot afternoon out there. Warm and sticky. High temperatures near 90, feeling more like low 90s with the heat index. A few isolated thunderstorms will pop up late this afternoon and this evening and then dissipate tonight. We'll see a low of 69. And then tomorrow, a cold front approaches, bringing us a slightly better chance of late-day storms and a high of 87.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 165 points to 38,736. Market update brought to you by FC Series. It's the summer of soccer in the Triangle, with TST Stars competing for $1 million and Manchester City taking on Celtic at UNC in July. Get discounted tickets at fcseries.com/Carolina and use code TRIANGLE.
Love guarded by Keels, gets a screen, pulls up for three. Got it! Caleb from straight away! Jones with one. Jones puts it up at the buzzer. Yes! He ties the game!
Joyner with a long rebound, kicks ahead to Smith. 3-ball, right side.
Bang!
Shotgun snap. Bryce Young, pressure off the backside. Throw to the end zone. Chark pulls it in with his fingertips.
And another chance, and the save's made by Anderson. And the fans will tell you, did you have a good night?
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tuesday, I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox producing the show as always. UNC backed us up last night. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't a little shaky at times, but the UNC baseball team backed us up last night, knocked off LSU, advanced out of the regional that they were hosting in Chapel Hill, giving the ACC 5 teams that hosted regionals. All 5 of those teams advance out of the regionals to the super regionals, going a combined 15-1.
Let's go.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the ACC to talk their talk. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the individual schools that advance to the super regionals to talk their talk. It is time for the ACC to stand on business. Results. And if you think I'm going to miss up an opportunity for the ACC to stand on business on this show, you're darn crazy. First of all, let's hear from UNC baseball coach Scott Forbes on the big win for UNC.
I mean, that's what it was supposed to be about. I told our guys this morning, this is why you come to UNC. You know, to play a game like this, an elimination game, championship game, winner take all for a regional championship. But I did remind them we were at home, and you know, I feel like we had some of that Bosch magic tonight, and a lot of that was our crowd. I don't know if I've been here a long time. When AMAC got that hit, that might be the loudest I've ever heard Boshemer Stadium, and that's just something that really makes me smile. But the thing that makes me smile the most is the look on these guys' faces. It's a special group, so I'm most proud of our team finding a way to win this regional.
Finding a way, they did. No help, by the way, from the selection committees, the seating committees, from the NCAA that put LSU in their regional at Chapel Hill, which UNC was the 4th highest ranked team in the country. LSU is way too good to be put into that regional. Put them in Greenville against the 16th seeded ECU Pirates. How many times are they, meaning the powers that be across multiple different sports, going to stack the deck against the Atlantic Coast Conference only for the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC, to continue to overachieve against expectations, to continue to overcome any obstacle put in their way? All basketball season, what did we talk about? Why are the net rankings so low on the ACC? Why is no one giving respect to the ACC? Why is Joe Lunardi saying as few as 2 teams from the ACC could make the NCAA tournament? Why, during the football season, do we watch all of these conferences that the ACC has winning records against as a conference put 7, 8 teams in the top 25. Meanwhile, the ACC is lucky to have 3. Why, when it comes to bowls, does the ACC win an overwhelmingly higher number than would be expected based on their rankings? Why, when it comes to the NCAA tournament, does the ACC, more so than any other conference, routinely win beyond their seeding? And why does baseball get treated the way they're treated, only to see the ACC continue to win, continue to overachieve? I think it's because we're not giving them credit. And by we, I mean the selection committees. It seems like almost even when they are given credit, right? 5 ACC teams were given regionals to host. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's like, they are respected. Well, why is there an SEC team in every region that
Every
the
single
ACC hosted? 5 regions. There's an SEC team in all of them. Almost as if the selection committee was like, all right, I guess we got to put him in there, but watch what we can do. But we'll show them. We'll throw a real baseball conference team in each of their regions. Well, now those SEC teams are sitting at home because you sent them into ACC country. And I know Duke went down to an SEC program and they didn't make it out. But guess what? Duke should have been hosting too if the disrespect didn't start. They're an ACC champion. They won the conference with all these super regional participants. Does the ACC need a better publicist? Does the ACC have enemies somewhere with power that is holding them back as much as they can up until the games can be settled on the court, on the field, on the diamond? Does the ACC need ESPN to step up and have their back as a media partner? Do they need to say, hey, we've got to deal with you. We need you in those quiet rooms that make decisions to be standing up for us? Does the ACC need to be more selfish and less fair? Because the ACC oftentimes is represented on selection committees, and I'm going, what, did you just be quiet during the portion where you put everybody above them? Right? Maybe you were doing the little league parent who's the coach and is actually way harder on their child than anyone else's to make it obvious that there's no coaching preference. So we're sending ACC representatives to selection committees, and they're the most critical of the ACC.
That team stinks.
trying to prove that they're not showing favoritism.
That team doesn't belong. Get them out of here.
Meanwhile, the SEC and the Big Ten are like the worst of the worst parents. Their kids like playing shortstop, batting third, no matter how good they are. They're out there going, Kentucky's the best thing I've ever seen on a baseball field. Really? No, you guys don't understand. LSU needs to go to Chapel Hill because they're the premier event. And it's wait a second. Maybe the ACC just needs to get more selfish because I'm not going to stop doing this, what I'm doing right now. I'm not going to stop advocating for the ACC when it's so obvious, and they continue to prove it with results, right? The best way to find out who's the best baseball team, play baseball. They got 5 going to the Super Regional. The best way to find out who's the best basketball team, play basketball. They advance in the NCAA tournament further than other conferences every year, regardless of how many teams they get in the tournament or what their seeding is. So I'm not going to stop, but I wish I could. Right? I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish that one time the ACC got the benefit of the doubt rather than, if they're equal, we'll give it to the SEC. All things being equal, the Big Ten's more difficult competition. Why? What makes that true? The results on the playing field, the results on the scorebook don't. And even if you find the one-off year, right, because there's people that can turn stats into anything, go with the biggest sample size you can find. Look at a decade of results, right? Look at the ones that the flukes will be washed out. The ACC is good at sports.
They're great at it.
It's sometimes that simple, and it's why in conference realignment, and it's why I'm always worried when the Florida States or the Clemsons tried to upend things because I'm going, that's not Good. I saw someone ask if NC State had the best year, because they're obviously in the Super Regional. They had 2 Final Four teams. They had a top 25 final ranking football squad. They have a quality cross-country program. They even have a 2-time champion cheese chaser. If NC State had the best athletics year of any team in the country this year. Now, I'm not going to go through and look, well, actually, Stanford's water polo team. I'm not going to go through all of that. But what I am going to say is, I guarantee whoever asked that question didn't come from an SEC or in a Big Ten school.
Right?
It's a fair question. The ACC, did they have the best year amongst college sports for any conference? It's a fair question. And I'm not talking about like just count national champions. I'm talking about top to bottom. When you get to the postseason and the scores count, right? When there's elimination games, who top to bottom played the best? Now imagine what that might look like if all the teams that deserve to be in the postseason actually were. If Wake Forest and Pitt and these other schools weren't in the NIT. If Duke got to host a regional. If there was a legitimate chance of Florida State making the college football playoff as an undefeated Power 5 champion.
Yeah.
The disrespect doesn't end with any one team. It doesn't end with any one sport. It is unanimous, and I don't get it, and I don't like it, and I just want the ACC to get their credit. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. We all listening here, talking sports, we're all fans of something, right? We're all part of a community, whether it's your favorite hockey team, your favorite college, pro team, you name it, you're part of that fandom. Even the hobbies that we have in our lives, you're part of that family, you're part of that group, you're part of that community. And then riding a motorcycle, which is something that I do, picked up recently, part of that community as well. And I know if I ever am in a motorcycle accident or injured in an accident, I know I get to call Law Tigers. I know I need to call Law Tigers because they are part of that community as well. So if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, call Law Tigers before you call your insurance. Call them at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. The insurance company, they want to pay you the least amount of money possible. Law Tigers, they're riders too. Again, they're part of that community. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free, and they do not get paid until your case settles. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The next question in our series of 99 questions about the college football season is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
99.9 The Fan and Arise Urology Clinic present Men's Health Month. Smoking causes cancer, heart disease, a greater risk of stroke, and increased risk of erectile dysfunction. Start your winning streak now and commit to quit. You'll fix your organs, get your looks back, and end the smoker's cough. The long-term benefits lower the chance of death and decrease your danger to your body for your future. Men's Health Month is powered by Arise. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men at 919-964-3750 or visit CoreWaveTherapy.com.
Hey, it's Laura with the Good Feet store. To my fellow mothers, we can do just about anything, but sometimes don't our bodies disagree? As a working mom of 3, those long days bouncing between the office and the kids would be even more challenging if I was suffering with foot, knee, or back pain. Almost all of my activities involve being on my feet. That's where my Good Feet arch supports come in. From playing hide and seek to walking around the office, life is go, go, go. Moms, we can't afford to let lower body pain slow us down. At the Good Feet store, we offer a 3-step system of arch supports that are personalized to your feet and your lifestyle. They're designed to work in almost any shoe, whether you're dressing for a day in the office or a walk around the neighborhood. Our arch support specialists will walk you through the benefits of each support and how they work together to reduce or even eliminate your foot, knee, and back pain. If you're looking for reliable support for your busy mom lifestyle, visit your local Good Feet store. Stop in for a free fitting and test walk or schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey friends, it's Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. The NBA playoffs have certainly tipped off, and it's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to use on same-game parlays, live bets, championship futures, and so much more. There's no better place to bet all the playoff action than America's #1 sportsbook. But to get started, you need to go to FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P. Get yourself rolling. Get in on the fun. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Soccer fans, what do Sergio Aguero, J.J. Watt, Ali Krieger, Chris Paul, Kari Lloyd, Pat McAfee, and Wrexham have in common? They're coming to Cary. TST, the soccer tournament, Year 2, WakeMed Soccer Park, this weekend, June 5th through 10th. Tickets on sale at thetournament.com. Last year, sold out. Tickets still available. That's thetournament.com. 118 games, $2 million prizes, a family festival of soccer. TST, get your tickets now. Thetournament.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Vibing out of the break. 99 questions about the college football season. We've been asking one a day, starting 99 days out from the college football season. Today, the question is simple. Where do the quarterbacks in the triangle, we're talking NC State, Duke, UNC, where do they sit nationally? We've been doing a lot of ranking within the triangle. Which would you like to have out of these three? Give them 1, 2, and 3. Put them in order. But where do they sit nationally? Because in a year with an expanded college football playoff, I mean, there's national expectations on one or two of these teams. I thought it was interesting because this question was spurned by a list on ESPN.com. And they ranked all of the quarterback situations in college football in the entire country. But when I say they ranked them, they didn't put them necessarily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They ranked them in tiers, groups of 4 or 5 quarterbacks in tiers. NC State had the highest ranking of the 3 triangle teams, obviously being Grayson McCall, slotting into the 5B tier. I did the math, calculated it.
Okay, 5B?
5B.
Okay.
The tier is less important. That is in the 23 to 26 quarterback situations overall in the entire country.
Okay.
So flirting with the top 25 quarterbacks.
That's respectable.
The tiers are what I find interesting, though, because they're also kind of grouped together by little themes if you pay attention. NC State is grouped with Notre Dame, Florida State, and Syracuse, which you could argue are the contenders or the Power 5 conference teams with the highest profile transfer quarterbacks. Grayson McCall to NC State, Notre Dame with Riley Leonard from Duke. Florida State with DJ Uiagalelei from Oregon State, previously Clemson. And then Syracuse with Kyle McCord, who was the Ohio State starting quarterback last year. I think it's a more interesting question to ask this. Who would you like out of that tier? Who do you think is the best quarterback out of that tier? Would you rather have Grayson McCall or Riley Leonard? Grayson McCall or DJ Uiagalelei? Grayson McCall or Kyle McCord? To be honest with you, I think I'm going McCall and McCord first. A little bit more proven production. Riley Leonard has the ceiling. DJ Uiagalelei has the history, but the two that have actually played extremely well at the college level, Riley Leonard did as well, but last year was such a departure due to injury.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just going with McCall and McCord.
Yeah, McCord's played in some big games, obviously, at Ohio State.
Very.
I mean, you got to go into the big house of Michigan, which they almost won that game. like you've played in some big-time games before and in some really tough atmospheres.
He was a few completions away from playing for very, 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 very big games.
Yes.
Duke was down in Tier 7, so they had 7th-tier quarterback room, grouped with basically the recruiting class of 2022. It is Malik Murphy, Cade Klubnik from Clemson, Drew Aller from Penn State, and Connor Wegman from A&M, Texas A&M. All four of them were top 100 recruits, top 10 quarterbacks in the class of 2022. All of them, other than Malik Murphy, have played and kind of underwhelmed. So Malik Murphy is the wild card there because he hasn't played a bunch because he was behind Quinn Ewers at Texas. Do you want the kind of maybe they've figured it out of the veterans, or do you want Malik Murphy, who maybe he doesn't even need to figure it out, he just needs opportunity?
Just needs a chance. Sometimes it's all you need. Just need a chance.
UNC has a Tier 8 quarterback room. That one is an interesting tier as well because it's all replacements. UNC, Kentucky, LSU, Michigan, and Maryland. Other than Maryland, who replaced the Big Ten leader in passing yards history, Taulia Tagovailoa. The other three, and UNC, so the other four, all replace draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them replacing top. What was McCarthy at 10? Top 10 draft picks. Who would you rather replace? Is the question there. Who do you think is the most difficult to replace? It's Drake May, Devin Leary, NC State former guy, and then went to Kentucky. LSU with Jaden Daniels, Michigan with J.J. McCarthy, or Maryland with Taulia Tagovailoa.
Devin Leary in Kentucky.
You think that's the most difficult?
No, difficult. Oh, I'm sorry. Difficult would actually.
Oh, actually,
be,
you're right. I think I phrased that as who would you most want to replace?
Yeah, the easiest one I think to replace will actually be Devin Leary, because
didn't play.
They had Will Levis before that. Devin Leary was there for a year, and the expectations and standards at Kentucky are much lower.
So Devin Leary isn't. You're not replacing the guy.
Devin
you're replacing
Leary's
the guy after the guy
too. That's the thing. Devin Leary's my guy. Here's the thing. J.J. McCarthy. They just won a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest shoe to fill.
And lost their coach.
Yes.
And he was seen as the quarterback that got him over the hump because they've had good teams without quarterbacks. I'd agree. I would want, this is me, the outsider. The competitive football player is going to look at it and go, I can replace J.J. McCarthy. I'm better than him. But the outsider's looking at that going, that's a very difficult situation to step into. LSU as well. Jaden Daniels had a lot on his plate. He was not
Heisman Trophy winner.
He was not just asked to complete easy balls, which kind of J.J. McCarthy was. J.J. McCarthy he had games where he threw 13 times. He was asked to do the very least and then turn and hand the ball to Blake Corum at LSU and UNC with Drake May. They were both asked to at times do everything: run, scramble, get everybody in the right position, throw, complete balls, throw with your offhand, do a little bit of everything. So. Tough ones to fall into there. Tough replacements. Still, if you listen to ESPN, just to kind of rank them, NC State with the best quarterback room in the triangle. Duke next up. UNC bringing up the caboose. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about my partners over at DraftKings Sportsbook. The NBA playoffs are all the way heated up, and so is the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Teams are knocking on the door of the finals, and DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered every step of the way with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Don't miss out on the NBA postseason as it winds down. And as I always say, if you're new to this whole sports betting thing, don't think you have to jump in with a 7-leg teaser where you're manipulating spreads and lines and you want to get it down to a number that you think is comfortable on 6 different things. Listen, it can be super easy. Just pick a team to win. Try betting on something simple like a team to win. Go to the app, select your team, place your first bet. It's that simple. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces, to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Use code TIMD with no spaces at sign up and get $200 in bonus bets the first time you bet $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Deposit and eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. We're going to take a break. When we come back, NC State trying to get even more money out of their football season ticket holders. I'll tell you how. Stick around.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Gilbert worked in retail and restaurant management for 14 years. It was time for a change.
I recognized where I was at was vulnerable to the whims of the economy.
Then he heard about My Computer Career. Gilbert went for it.
In as little as 7 months, I got all of my certifications at a fraction of a cost for college.
He became an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
I can work from anywhere. I have more time for my family as well.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate. If your inefficient windows are costing you too much for air conditioning, that's a big deal. Now during Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace them and save a big deal too. Offer ends June 30th, so schedule your in-home estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Thinking of popping the question? Diamonds Direct has an offer you can't miss. This month only, buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. No one provides education, selection, and value like Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet from your friends at Diamonds Direct won't last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
It's the summer of soccer in the Triangle, with the soccer tournament stars competing for $1 million and Manchester City taking on Celtic at UNC in July. Get discounted tickets at fcseries.com/Carolina and use code TRIANGLE.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. NC State is introducing PSLs at Carter Finley. Now, before you go, PSL, was that? Is that like Phi Sigma Kappa? What are we looking at?
What is a PSL?
PSL is a new frat that we don't know about. What are we talking? How are they adding those? They are personal seat licenses, which are essentially, you buy a personal seat license, which gives you the right to buy a season ticket in those seats. It is like buying the I don't know, land to then have the right to build the house. Like you have to do one first before you can do the other. So you have to have the PSL before you can buy season tickets. This is something, by the way, this is not like new or innovative. This is not something that has never happened at any other stadium or at any other college. It's a business move, right? It's a way to get more money out of your season ticket holders. Some would describe it as a way to squeeze every last drop of cash out of your most loyal and fervent followers who you have wrapped around your finger. Season ticket holders. Right? Imagine being someone who has been going to every game since your mom and dad started taking you when you were 6 years old, and now you're in your 40s and you take your kids to every game, and then suddenly they show up and go, need to pay a bunch more money for your tickets this year. Are you really going to be able to walk away from 40 years of that being part of your family? Or are you going to go, what? Really? Here you go. Like it
depends on the person.
Exactly. So season ticket holders tend to be more loyal, tend to be they have more invested in to walk away from, right? If you're like, hey, to buy a one-game ticket, you're going to have to pay a bunch of extra money. You're going to get a bunch of casual fans going, or I'm going to get more yard work done that Saturday. Like those are the options. What this is the latest example in schools, athletic programs, teams, football programs operating in a way that doesn't want to leave any change on the table. It's becoming more and more apparent that college athletics programs were leaving money that they could have been making for years and years and years and years. Now, you may say, why? Why were they doing that? Well, because they didn't have to pay the players. They didn't have to pay the labor. So they're like, well, why are we going to go through the effort to get every dime out of the couch cushion? We're making out here. We're doing pretty well. Why are we going to work as hard as we possibly can to make every last dollar count? I've used alcohol sales as an example of this in the past. It seemed like for my entire childhood, every school was like, not anywhere near campus. We're not selling any alcohol in the stadium if it's anywhere near campus. And then slowly over the last 3 or 4 years, schools all across the country are going, well, beer before the fourth quarter. Well, we will have a partnership with a particular beer in the area.
Exactly.
Well, they'll cost $24 per beer, but yeah, we'll be open to it. Why are they doing that now after not doing that for so many years? Because they need the money. Because players are suddenly getting paid. Because they just found out they're on the hook for, $10 million a year each over the next 10 years to pay off former players that weren't getting paid, and they have the right to pay $20 million per year to their current players, and now all of a sudden they're like, you know what, maybe we should look in the couch cushion for those dimes. Now suddenly I'm not too proud to bend over and pick up the nickel that I pass in the grocery store parking lot. Now I'll touch my toes, act like I'm stretching, act like I'm tying my shoe, get that nickel in my pocket. Now PSLs. Similarly, just yesterday I was reading an article, the Big 12 has agreed to put Hollywood seats in their basketball arenas. You know what a Hollywood seat is? Another way to make money. They're putting seats that you can buy, right? Seats that you can purchase, season tickets, I'm sure, between the bench and the scorer's table. Call these like the Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg go to a Celtics game tickets. Like you get to sit, you get to hear the coach screaming the plays.
It's the Spike Lee seat.
It's the Spike Lee seat. It's the Hollywood seats. Big 12 never had those in their arena. Why? Because they didn't need the money. Because who would have been playing in the Big 12? Because Robert Griffin III wasn't allowed to make any money while he was out there filling up the football stadium. Because Kirk Heinrich and Nick Collison weren't allowed to make any money for Kansas. From Kansas. They made a lot of money for Kansas. Weren't allowed to make any money from Kansas. Now that they are, and everyone's hands are going in the same cookie jar, suddenly they're like, wait a second, you're telling me we could charge fans a boatload more money just for putting a couple fold-up chairs near the scorer's table? Yes. Yes, you can. Those are actually the ways everyone keeps saying, oh, you're just going to call college sports pro sports. Do you know what I actually think is the number one thing that makes college sports feel different than pro sports? Eligibility. Mm-hmm. The fact that everyone has a clock that is winding down and rosters have to turn over every year, and sometimes the best player is a 19-year-old freshman. To me, that is what makes college sports feel special compared to pro sports, where you get the longevity. You get a good player, you draft them, you pay them, you could have them for the next 15 years. It's just a different beast. But I think the way that it's going to start to feel more and more like pro sports is the programs are going to get more and more adept at handling the business. You're going to have those experiences. You're going to have more suites in the arena. You're going to have more courtside seats. You're going to have more options at the concession stand. You're going to have more merchandise to buy for exorbitant prices. Because they need the money, finally, to pay the players. I'm not hating that at all. PSLs, if you're a season ticket holder, don't get me wrong, you're going to be annoyed. Like it's just it's a necessary evil, right? If you want them to be able to pay the quarterback what it takes to have an ACC starting quarterback, they're going to have to charge PSLs. And if you don't like it, it's completely your right to do what Dennis said, right? Depending on the person, some people might walk away. They might say, this is the final straw. I'm taking a stand. I'm out.
It's like everything else in my life is getting more expensive. I got to save money somewhere. It feels pretty nice sitting inside on a Saturday. I'll pay for tickets for 1 or 2 games as opposed to a whole year.
The beauty for the programs is they think they'd be able to find someone else to sit in your seat.
Mm-hmm.
Sell them the personal seat license.
Hey, you know what? If you win, people will show up.
Oh, is that the
simple?
Is that the new Field of Dreams? Instead of if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
If you win, they will pay personal seat license fees.
That's pretty much it.
If
That's
you
pretty
win,
much it.
they'll fork over their credit card for season tickets. If you win, they'll buy those Hollywood seats on the basketball floor. I've never done it. I would really like to. Courtside at basketball seems really fun. Sneakers on hardwood. I want my feet on the hardwood. Sounds like a really good time. The drive, not like media row either. That's a little cheating for us. I'm talking about like the kind where you can have the nachos and the drinks and hang out. The drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a pretty sweet giveaway.
We do.
Talking about bucket list items. Talking about things you want to do in the sports world. We have a pair of tickets to Sunday at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst to give away. This is not this weekend, next weekend. It is Father's Day weekend.
Yep, so Father's Day itself.
There it is. True, because it's Sunday.
June 16th.
You can see a golfer crowned a major champion, and the field will be loaded. It'll have all the big names. It'll have the Rorys. It'll have the Justins, the Spieths, the Brooks Koepkas, the Bryson DeChambos, the Tiger Woods. They'll all be a part of the field. If they make the weekend, they'll be there on Sunday, meaning if they make the cut. And you can be as well. You can also be there on Sunday. You win the tickets, you don't have to worry about making the cut. You're there for the weekend.
Yeah, you make the cut.
You make it all the way to Sunday. Skip go, do not pass go, do not collect $200, whatever that is. You just end up straight on Sunday. To win the tickets, you have to text the word golf, GOLF, to 919-860-5326. That's how you enter to win the tickets. Text the word golf, GOLF, 919-860-5326. You may have to sign up for a newsletter, but trust me, it's worth it. Our newsletter, it's a pretty cool deal that we're doing here. Get all the best content to you once a week. In addition to that, possible awesome things to win, like tickets to Sunday at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst.
Pretty simple. Just text golf. 919-860-5326.
We're not far away from when the golfers are going to start getting to Pinehurst and start feeling out the course and playing practice rounds and walking and everything else.
We'll be there on Wednesday next week.
We will. We will be there on Wednesday. Our show will be there on Wednesday for the afternoon practice rounds.
You think they'll let us play?
Yeah. I think if we dress the part and we walk in confidently, they'll let us.
All right.
Me, I'm Dustin Johnson.
I'm sure.
I just try to think of a tall golfer. There's not many of them. He's, I think, 6'4", so I'll just mumble, keep my head down, and go, I'm just here to play golf. Golf fans will get that impression. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's jump into a little Bank of America renovations update. Bank of America, the home of the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte, is up. The proposal from Tepper Sports and Entertainment, obviously David Tepper, and the city of Charlotte announced Monday a proposed partnership that would have the city contribute $650 million for renovations to Bank of America Stadium and keep the Carolina Panthers in their current location for the next 20 years. Sounds like a deal, right? We give you $650 million. We get to tell you can't leave for 2 decades. All right, I would scratch my back. I'll scratch yours. It would be the first major renovation since the stadium was completed in '96. And this is perfect. This comes from the ESPN article. Guess what it would be paid by?
City of Charlotte.
This would be the first major renovation since the stadium was completed in 1996 and paid for by sale of permanent seat licenses.
Go figure.
That's funny. Here's by the way, some of the improvements. Brand new seats installed throughout the entire bowl. Improved accessibility throughout the entire facility, designed and constructed in a way that would be more accommodating to those with disabilities to have access without barriers. Stadium safety and security enhancements. A reimagined South Lawn pavilion area that can be used as a community gathering spot and outdoor classroom on game days and non-event days. Upgraded restrooms. Enhanced stadium exterior to reaffirm its place as an iconic and beloved fixture of the the Charlotte skyline. You know what? I have one request. And I'm assuming this goes through. I'm assuming by the time we're hearing like joint announcements between Tepper Sports and Entertainment and the city of Charlotte, it's all ready. I'm assuming it's going to go through. If not, we'll walk some of this back. But I just want football to be prioritized in the renovations. I want Bank of America to be because when you walk into a stadium, and I've been lucky enough to go to a bunch of different football stadiums, arenas, domes around the country. And when you walk in if football was the priority or if this is like a multi-use venue, right? You walk in and it's like, oh, this thing's built for concerts, isn't it? When the punter routinely hits the Jumbotron with the punt, I'm going, what did you think they were going to be doing in here? Oh, you lined it up for Beyonce and Taylor Swift and the Foo Fighters and Paul McCartney, and you didn't set it up for football? So all I ask is that football be prioritized. Don't make it a concert or a multi-use priority that the football team gets to use. Okay, don't do that. So I remember, maybe this is just a specific memory to my childhood, but I like youth basketball. I have this vivid memory, right? It's burned into my brain, where you walk in with like your AAU team, your travel ball team, your rec league team, and it's in another town. So you don't know what the arena is going to be, what the gym's going to be like. If you walk in and you see a basketball gym, you're like, heck yeah, today's going to be a good day. If you walk in and see a cafegimatorium, you're like, you know what? This is going to be slippery as heck. One of us is going to try to block a shot and go flying onto the stage, and another one of us is going to go bust our chin open on a folded up cafeteria table. Like, I don't want Bank of America because, right, if you remember, Nicole Tepper, David Tepper, they're so proud of all the other events they bring to Charlotte, right? The concerts and everything else.
The running water and infrastructure, everything.
I don't want them to spend $650 million of Charlotte's money, add in, I'm sure, some of their own, and look at it and go, we now have the premier East Coast concert venue. Oh, yeah, and the football team gets to play there. I don't want that to happen. I want, like, Bryce Young on, the renovation committee. Give him a hard hat and some blueprints and let him approve everything.
Or, yeah, Bryce, what are your thoughts on this bathroom over here that you're never going to step foot into? Sure, let's get his opinion.
Yeah, you know what every player would say? And this is the shout out to Steve Ballmer. More toilets, the better. Can you fit more toilets? Why? Because you don't want fans waiting in line on a key third down when you need them to make noise for your defense to get a stop. You want them to be able to go take care of their business, get back to their seat quickly. More toilets. That was from Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, when they had their press conference announcing their new arena and the plans. He was like, we're going to have 6 times as many toilets as the average NBA arena. And he was super jacked up about it, and everyone was laughing at him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a genius idea. No one ever has a good experience running to, like, the trough at a arena. Just have more toilets. Everybody gets back to their seat faster. You get to enjoy more of the game. Now, if you could do that with concession stands, just all over the place. Merch all over the place. So the lines are never long. Now we are talking. Get it back to the stands.
That's fine for me. Like, as a fan, want to go to a game? I don't want to stand in lines for a super long period of time. Yes, whatever you want to do to make that process faster and better for me as a fan, yes.
All in. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, we're getting some court news. Or is it court? Not court.
Not court.
Legislator?
Political news?
Political. Elected officials?
I mean, here's the thing. This is where politics and our state legislator here in the state of North Carolina is impacting
So there's an election
sports.
Coming up in November, and we just want – no, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm 100% kidding.
We're not going down that rabbit hole. We are not going to feel like, wait, hold on.
We just wanted to get the basics out of the way on where we stand on all political issues. Completely kidding.
We talked about this a few weeks ago about how there was a bill proposed where UNC and NC State in both football and men's basketball would have to play each other required every single year in football and men's basketball. They already do that as part of the ACC anyway, but this is kind of protection in case one team or one school ends up leaving, possibly. But also part of it as well is that NC State and North Carolina have to play one of App State, East Carolina, or UNC Charlotte in football and men's basketball each year. So
and
you have to
every 6 years you have to play at each of those.
You have to play
locations.
exactly. You have to play at one of those schools every 6 years as well.
At each of those schools.
So yes, each of those schools, I should say. So that bill that was proposed today cleared a House committee on universities with no debate. So again, under that measure, no debate. Now there are still a couple of House subcommittees that it's got to pass through. Once it goes through there, then it will have to go through Senate, and then Governor Roy Cooper will have to sign off on it as well. But nonetheless, we are looking at one step closer to this being written in the state where NC State and UNC have to play each other every year in football and men's basketball, and they'll have to play App, ECU, or Charlotte once every. They have to play those three schools once every 3 years and have to go on the road once every 6. So that's summed it up basically as best as I can for you that way.
Yes, this is two-part, and it's the same. First, there are certain reactions that I had when this bill was first floated, and they're similar. I don't like telling Power 5 schools who they're scheduling in their non-conference schedule because, like, make no mistake about it, NC State this year, North Carolina probably every other year, Duke's hoping to build there. They have college football playoff aspirations now that the college football playoff has expanded to 12 teams. You're right. You're trying to you make the conference championship. There's a good chance you're going to make the college football playoff, which is massive, and that comes down to resume, and like going to Boone to play App. This is a compliment to App. That's a tough place to play. You lose that one, that could be the difference. Or even if it's close, right? Oh, look at this. You have a close win against a group of 5 team. And it's going like, yeah, but you don't know. You don't know what Boone is like in a night game with NC State coming to town or UNC coming to town. UNC's learned the last however many times they've done it. Those games have been unreal.
Mm-hmm.
They've been really wildly entertaining, and I'm sure good for the state, and I'm sure politicians are like, look at how great that is. Let's make them do that every year. But in actuality, it's like to some selection committee member from California, all they see is, wow, UNC really struggles with group of 5 opponents. I think the team should be able to make those decisions. The flip side is, I do love that UNC and NC State are more tethered together. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish the bill just said they weren't allowed to be in different conferences. But but barring that option, making sure they play every year, I do think is important.
I mean, that's a whole separate thing that's put in place where the head of the UNC school system makes those decisions regarding conference alignment. Now, Representative David Willis of Union County, which is just outside of Charlotte, think of it, if you're in Wake County, Johnston County is the equivalent of, in terms of location, of what Mecklenburg County is in Charlotte, so that area. But Representative David Willis of Union County, who went to App State, said nobody really knows what's going to happen with, he said, super alignment just makes sense for the state of North Carolina, or just makes complete sense for the state of North Carolina regarding NC State and UNC to compete against each other if they end up in different conferences. So again, just to make sure that those schools are playing each other.
Also, you said with no debate? It was passed
Yeah, there's no debate on the floor about it today. Just that House committee said yep, let's do this.
Do you think House committee members get the little the old school peer pressure? Because that when a teacher says does everybody understand? Nobody says anything, and then as soon as one kid raises their hand and says actually, the second part I didn't get, then all of a sudden everybody's yeah, I didn't get it either.
I didn't get that either. Possibly, or it's also could be a position where a lot of these representatives might be from areas that represent ECU and App and UNC Charlotte and say, you know what, this is a benefit for my area. I'm not going to oppose this. I don't want to be the person that says, no, I don't want to bring UNC or NC State to my home area.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we need more NC State and UNC.
Oh, they're out there too.
Football and basketball fans on these committees to say, you don't tell us what to do. Or does that come across as a bully?
A little bit.
Yeah. Maybe you don't say it in that particular tone. Maybe you don't stand up, slam a gavel down that they didn't know you had, and go, you don't tell me what to do. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. I want to tell you about what's going on at Window Nation involving their semi-annual sale. I'll give you the details in a second, but first, why it's important to have a business, a company like Window Nation that you trust put in your windows. You know what I'm getting into? And this is a sign that I am like full-scale dad mode. I have a bird feeder. And I like going, oh, look, a cardinal. Oh, look, a robin, a blue jay. And I don't know what anybody gets out of that, but I really, really, really enjoy it. And that means it's set up right outside the window of my my living room. And every time it happens, I make my 3-year-old run to the window and look at the cardinal. And he goes, oh, bird. And that's about it. But think about that, right? That's hopefully a positive memory we're going to have that is only possible because we have these big old windows in our living room. And Window Nation, I mean, all of their styles, right, for their semi-annual sale, all of their window styles, of which they have a bunch, are 50% off. So you're talking the big windows, the sliding windows, the traditional windows, the little port windows. They're all 50% off, plus 0 interest for 5 years and an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. When you're installing windows, think about that. Right? Don't just think, oh, this is a room, it should have windows. Think about you and your 3-year-old looking at the birds outside, or a storm rolling in and wanting to be protected by it, or one of those heat waves that's going to come through the triangle in the not-too-distant future. And think about how you want the best quality of product, installation, and materials to make sure that hot air stays outside. Window Nation takes care of all of it. They came into my house. They gave me a demonstration. They showed me and my wife how it all takes place. And they work with you on things like that, helping you imagine the positive memories that can come from not only lowering your energy bill, not only boosting the value of your house, but also just having quality windows throughout your entire abode. Window Nation, extending its semi-annual sale, 50% off all window styles, 0% interest for 5 years, plus, listen up, an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment for a free, no-obligation consultation this week. It's easy to set up. Just go ahead and call 866-90-NATION, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com to schedule. That's windownation.com to schedule. We'll take a break. When we come back, football at 4. A former Panther gets paid. Next.
99.9 The Fan and Arise Urology Clinic present Men's Health Month. More than 30 million men suffer from prostate-related issues impacting their quality of life. When men near the age of 40, they may start to experience growth with their prostate. Make sure to get your yearly checkups with your primary doctor to ensure everything is healthy. It's vital. Help yourself and prevent long-term complications before they happen. Men's Health Month is powered by Arise. Call Arise Urology Clinic for Men at 919-964-3750 or visit corewavetherapy.com.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is Heather O'Reilly, and I am so excited about the soccer schedule this summer. Come see me hit the pitch June 5th through 10th at TST, along with some of the biggest names in soccer, sports, and entertainment. TST will feature 118 matches and 56 teams competing for $1 million. At WakeMed Soccer Park. Tickets start at $38 and are selling fast. Visit thetournament.com/soccer while they're still available. Following TST, Man City will play Celtic at UNC July 23rd.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Do you have a wedding anniversary coming up? Let Bailey's Fine Jewelry make your gift-giving easy. Make this a year to remember with something sentimental and sparkly. Or consider upgrading your original engagement ring to celebrate how much your love has grown. Make this anniversary one to remember with a Bailey box. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Family-owned and operated since 1948. Shop local in Raleigh, Rocky Mount, and Greenville. Visit in-store or at BaileyBox.com to learn more.
Elevate your driving with Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford. For a limited time, when you trade your 2010 or newer Buick or GMC vehicle, receive up to $6,000 off and a $2,500 Wilkinson discount on a 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. Offer valid on stock number 24490s. Similar offers available for others. GMC, we are professional grade. Visit our showroom at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford, or find us online at wilkinsoncars.com.
Tim Donnelly here. Don't miss out on the sale of the summer from Zero Res. 3 rooms in your house, zero resified. Every surface cleaned for $109 plus $100 off your air duct cleaning. Give them a call, 919-915-0000 or ZeroResRaleigh.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Pretty sticky summer pattern out there. Temperatures near 90 degrees, and it'll feel more like low 90s with the heat index. A few pop-up storms will develop late this afternoon and this evening, but then dissipate overnight. We'll see a low of 69. Tomorrow, a slightly better chance of afternoon and evening storms as a front approaches. We'll see a high of 87.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit Newcomb & Company.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 140 points to 38,711. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. It's the summer of soccer in the Triangle, with the soccer tournament stars competing for $1 million and Manchester City taking on Celtic at UNC in July. Get discounted tickets at fcseries.com/Carolina and use code TRIANGLE.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4. Here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. News today. Another NFL player getting paid. The difference is it's not a wide receiver today. Although he does have 1,000 yards receiving since being traded to the 49ers. We're talking about Christian McCaffrey, former Panther. The Niners are paying Christian McCaffrey on an extension, which shows again just another example of how badly the Panthers botched that trade. Adam Schefter with the tweet. I'll read it to you. Reigning Offensive Player of the Year. Oh, yeah, he won Offensive Player of the Year last year.
Because he was awesome? Yes.
Yeah, because he was awesome. He was a workhorse. He did a little bit of everything. Reigning Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey, once again has reset the running back market, signing a 2-year extension with the 49ers, averaging $19 million per year, per sources. These are, like I said, Schefter's sources.
What?
McCaffrey will receive an additional $8 million over what he was scheduled to make in the first 2 years, while adding $24 million in guarantees. for a running back. Now, I know what you're saying, right? Wait, $19 million per year. Didn't Justin Jefferson just get $35 per year yesterday? Yes, different positions, greatly different scales, right? Different reactions. $19 million per year for a running back? Whew, that's a ton of money. It's a boatload of money. Which now makes Christian McCaffrey the highest paid running back in the NFL for 5 years and counting. I understand why the Panthers, as part of a rebuild, looked at Christian McCaffrey and said he is no longer a luxury we can afford. Trading him on the surface makes some sense.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't like the worst trade in the history of the world. But, and I said this to Dennis off air, part of being a football decision maker is what I call identifying the aliens. Alien is the highest level of compliment I can give to an athlete, right? It's the highest. Let me think of some examples.
It's like right above unicorn.
It's not right above. Like the aliens are well above unicorn.
Yeah.
Right? Like Kristaps Porzingis is a unicorn.
Yeah.
Giannis is an alien. Like there's levels to this.
That's true.
LeBron is an alien. Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, Adrian Peterson. These were aliens. And what aliens do is they buck the trend. Derrick Henry's an alien. I remember there was Derrick Henry like 4 times in his career. I've said, well, Cliff is coming. He's going to fall off the edge. And then there's all off season, nothing but workout videos of him doing things that don't look like they should apply to football. It's like, well, I don't know why in football you need to hold chains in each hand while you do hopscotch with a skip it from the 90s rotating around your leg. But hey, whatever it takes. And then he comes back in the next year, and again, he's in the top 5 in rushing yards. You don't pay running backs. You don't. You do pay aliens, regardless of what position they are at. The Panthers looked at Christian McCaffrey as a running back, and it's very hard to identify, but if they looked at him as an alien instead, he would still be there. Christian McCaffrey is different, and that is what made the trade wrong. And now the Niners get to do the roided up times 10 version of what the Panthers should be doing. Right? Because what do they both have in common? If you look at the Niners, who have, golly, one of the best rosters that I can remember.
Yeah.
They have so many good wide receivers that they drafted one in the first round, and I don't know where he's going to play. They drafted a wide receiver in the first round, ahead of Xavier Legette, by the way, and I genuinely don't think they have like space for him. They have one of the best tight ends. They have the highest paid running back. They have one of the best offensive lines, headlined by maybe the best offensive lineman of a generation. On defense, Talanoa Hufanga is one of my favorite players. He's a safety that was hurt for a bunch of the year, but he's unreal. Fred Warner, one of my best favorite linebackers. Like they have their defensive line, they're like sending Pro Bowlers away because they don't have room for them. They have an unbelievable roster. The Panthers were the worst team in football last year that need improvement at almost every position. What do those two teams have in common? Quarterbacks on rookie contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So the Niners get to spend on luxuries. They get to spend on the highest paid running back in the league, who is an ultimate dump-off option for their young quarterback. Brock Purdy, if he's ever confused, right? Mr. Irrelevant, 7th-round pick everybody loves. If he drops back and goes, what defense is this? Guess what his next thought is?
Where's Christian?
Yep. And Christian's just sitting there on a little option route, wide open, right in front of his face. Dump it off, takes it 80 yards to the house. What does Brock Purdy do? That's 84 passing yards. Thank you very much. And a passing touchdown. I'm on my way to the Pro Bowl. And on my way to the bank once that rookie contract comes up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bryce Young, another quarterback on a rookie contract. Think of rookie contracts like rent control, right? You have a quarterback that's making less than he would make as a starting quarterback on the open market. What do the Panthers have to do? Well, they got to figure out how to makes sense of not having Christian McCaffrey. How nice would it be if Bryce Young last year drops back, sees DJ Chark running the wrong route, sees Jonathan Mingo double covered on the sideline, has practice squad Mike somewhere over the middle, and Hayden Hurst is out with an injury, so he's got a blocking tight end out there with him, and he goes, I got nothing. Instead of just bracing for impact and getting lit up by an interior pass rush, if he could find Christian McCaffrey, how lovely would that be? Instead, he has Chuba Hubbard. Love Chuba Hubbard. Very good player. Grinder between the tackles, not a pass catcher.
Ain't CMC.
I wasn't even. He is not CMC.
Yeah, that's simple as that.
But it's right. Sometimes there's like the one big terrible decision, right? The Washington trading away $1 billion picks to move up and draft Robert Griffin III, who gets hurt. It's like, yep, that's going to set your franchise back a bunch of years.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a bunch of medium-sized decisions that add up, and it's like, wow, I thought maybe, yeah, you know what? You thought maybe getting something for a running back while you still could was a move. I'm not hating the logic. You just failed to account for Christian McCaffrey's an alien.
Well, it's also what you did with the picks that makes it even worse as well. It's like you traded away your best player, but you got a second, a third, and fourth round picks in 2023, which that's a good amount of a haul back for one player, plus a fifth round pick in this year's draft, 2024. The second round pick in 2023 they got from San Francisco, they used as part of the Bryce Young trade. That was one of the picks that they used as part of the haul. They moved up to draft Bryce Young. The third and fourth round picks, they traded those to Pittsburgh to draft DJ Johnson, the edge rusher, who is only 6 months younger.
It's generous to call him an edge rusher.
He
plays on the edge.
He plays football.
Occasionally attempts to rush.
He had 14 tackles this past season.
He had a bunch of DNPs, a bunch of coaches' decisions,
just
healthy inactives.
Just didn't play. Like what the equivalent in hockey they call, you're a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
That's what he was. It's like, hey, you know what? You go and sit out today because you sitting out is better for us than you actually playing, and our team stinks.
At a position of need.
Exactly. And he's only 6 months younger than Brian Burns. So, and here's the thing. Washington drafted a tight end in Darnell Washington. What was one of the positions the Panthers needed last year? Oh, a tight end. Oh, and they drafted an outside linebacker, Nick Herbig, with the 2 picks that they sent away to Pittsburgh. Nick Herbig had 3 sacks, 27 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Way more productive than DJ Johnson. And then the 5th round pick this year, they used that as part of the Brian Burns trade to move up, and that actually became part of the deal when they moved up from 33 to 32 to draft Xavier Legette. So it was a piece of a piece. But that's it. That's all you have to show for
So
it.
for Christian McCaffrey, you got what we'll call a 10th of Bryce Young.
I would say more like, probably around that, 20% maybe.
Yeah, okay. So a 5th of Bryce Young. A 10th of Xavier Legette.
Yep.
And DJ Johnson.
Yeah. That's what you got to show for Christian McCaffrey.
Now, if Christian McCaffrey were not an alien and he were a running back that fell off a cliff at age 27, like most running backs do, it's like, all right, you got what you could.
Yeah.
But he's an alien, and he's still worth being the highest paid running back for one of the best teams in the league. And thus, the Panthers get Panthers all over themselves.
That's where we are.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here with my friends at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. If you still want to figure out what you want to do with Dad for Father's Day weekend, even doesn't have to be exactly over that weekend. It could just be another time. Go to Deep River. Look no further than Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. It's located just minutes away from the heart of Triangle, down there in Sanford. It's an absolutely wonderful place. Beautiful natural outdoor setting, 65 acres. You walk along the target course. They got 13 different target spots where you can do your round of clays. It's an absolutely wonderful time, and they have everything down there for your shooting needs. But the best part is it's an experience that you're going to want to have again and again and again. An experience that you want to share with Dad, that you want to share with family. I've took my dad and my brother-in-law back in February down to Deep River, and we had an absolutely wonderful time. It was an absolute blast, and we keep talking about, again, how can we get back there? When's a good time for us to all get back down to Deep River? Because we had that much fun. We had that great of an experience, and we want to have it again. That's what Deep River brings you. It's more than just a place to shoot. Obviously, they have the shooting school. They have the online store you want to check out. You want to buy gifts for dad. They got different stuff out there as well, but it's the experience that keeps you coming again and again and again. Have that wonderful experience with dad for Father's Day. Check out DeepRiverSportingClays.com. Again, DeepRiverSportingClays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Cop or drop, one of our favorite games next. It's Men's Health Month, and WakeMed wants to remind you to protect your skin to reduce your risk for skin cancer, sunburn, and premature skin aging. For any exposed skin, sunscreen should be worn. It should be broad spectrum to fight UVA and UVB rays, an SPF of 30 or higher, and be water resistant. Apply sunscreen 15 minutes prior to exposure and every 2 hours. So whether you are headed out to mow the lawn or to get in 18 holes, make sure you are covered, literally. For more information, visit wakemed.org.
Where can you find a place that not only offers amazing food, but also a super unique and fun atmosphere? Hey, it's Victoria Bodenecker here to tell you that place is Norse Brewing Company in Wake Forest. There's also Norse Brewing Longhouse in Zebulon, but both locations offer a mouth-watering menu with a Scandinavian twist. They also make all of their adult beverages in-house. Plus, speaking of the aesthetic, you will completely embrace your inner Viking when you go here. Don't just take my word for it, though. Please go check them out for yourself. Find out more information at norsebrewingco.com.
Our state's future begins with our students. That's why the North Carolina Education Lottery has contributed over $10 billion to education. Through scholarships, school construction, support staff, and pre-K programs, lottery dollars move our state forward, helping students become the best versions of themselves. Visit movingncstudentsforward.com and share how your student or school community has benefited for a chance to earn $2,000 for your story. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Is your heating and air system ready for hot weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Diamonds Direct has done it again. This month only, get ready for an offer you can't resist. Buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. That's right, a stunning diamond tennis bracelet at no extra cost. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. So hurry into Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet will not last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have Storm Tracker with the latest offseason rumors for the Carolina Hurricanes. Coming up at 4:30, we have Copper Drop coming up in just literal moments. But first, reminder, if you want to win a pair of tickets to the Sunday at the U.S. Open, Pinehurst, Father's Day, not this weekend, next weekend. If you want to win those tickets, you have to text GOLF, GOLF, to 919-860-5326. Text GOLF, GOLF, to 919-860-5326. Sign up for the newsletter, do what you got to do. But, I mean, Sunday tickets to the U.S. Open, a major Sunday. Get to see somebody win a major.
You made the cut.
You made the cut. You get to see the weekend early Sunday. Congratulations to you if you win.
Now, question, if you had tickets to just Sunday, are you following the last group, like the last pair, the whole day, or are you parking on the 18th?
Oh, you don't know. You've never been to a golf tournament with me, have you?
No, I'm asking you.
We set it out like a military advancement. We have the course map the night before.
Okay.
You have the tee time listing the night before, and you set out a priority of the players you want to see and where you can stand and see multiple holes. You have to look at the topography of the course. You have to, all right, we're going to go here. You got to hit the merch tent. Got to get the concessions in you. A couple of fun drinks. And it's a plan, but. Usually, if you want to get to 18, you have to go there and camp out. I don't like that. I like to be on the move. I like to see as many golfers, as many cool shots as possible, see the entire course. So, I mean, with Pinehurst being as awesome as it is, and with it having as much kind of ground to cover, I'd be all over the place. If you didn't keep up, you'd get left.
Okay.
Anything else?
No. That was
usually if Tiger's playing, I'll make sure to see Tiger 3 or 4 times. But other than that, it's all there's a sliding scale, right? If you want to see Spieth, but that means you won't see Rory, you got to make those decisions. Let's play Copper Drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
Copper Drop, Dennis, take it away.
All right, Copper Drop. This is where I pose a question to Tim.
Yep, and I tell you whether I'm copping or dropping.
All right. NC State and North Carolina both make it to the Super Regionals in NCAA baseball. Copper Drop both make it to Omaha.
All right, let me see the
College World
matchups.
Series.
UNC is hosting against West Virginia.
Yep.
And NC State is going to Georgia.
Correct.
UNC will be the obvious favorite against West Virginia.
For sure.
NC State probably, I would say, a closer underdog to Georgia. Yeah, I'm copping.
All right.
I'm copping. I mean, NC State rolled through their regional, so they've got the rhythm, right? And also only playing 3 games, maybe a little bit fresher of a bullpen than some teams going into a super regional. UNC, meanwhile, battle-tested. LSU took them to the brink, needed to come back in the 9th, get the win in the 10th to send LSU home, so they're gonna ride that emotional victory, and they get to host. So, yeah, both make it to Omaha.
All right, 5 ACC teams are in the Super Regional. Copper Drop 3 make it to Omaha. So we said UNC against West Virginia, NC State at Georgia, Clemson at home against Florida, Virginia at home against Kansas State, and Florida State at home against UConn. So Copper Drop 3 ACC schools in Omaha.
All right, well, I've already said 2 are going.
Exactly.
So 1 out of the other 3, I'm copping that.
Okay.
Clemson against Florida. Florida was a 3 seed in their regional. Virginia against Kansas State. Kansas State was a 3 seed in their regional. And who am I missing here?
Florida State, UConn.
Florida State, UConn. UConn was not a I'm trying to find them. Hold on. I have it right here. Where did they go? Oh, there it is. UConn was a 3 seed. So you got to be 1 out of 3 seeds. Heck, they all might make it. We might get 5 in Omaha.
Let's go. 5 out of 8?
5 out of 8. We might get. Looking at those matchups. I mean, obviously 5 would be ridiculous. I don't think 4 is out of the question. You could have 50% of Omaha. If I have some advice when you're in Omaha, grab a runza.
A what?
A runza? You ever had a runza?
What's a runza?
It's fast food. It's
never heard of it.
It's hard to describe. It's like a calzone, but there's some cabbage in there. Protein, like a meat. It's a runza. I mean, it's like saying
it sounds like a dumpling.
Kind of, but bigger. It's like a sandwich size.
Okay.
But it's like if you're driving, you'll see like, oh, there's McDonald's, there's Burger King, there's a runza. Like there's a place called a runza. You order a runza.
So like what Bojangles is in this area? It's a regional fast food chain?
Yeah, it's like Nebraska only. They might be in Iowa.
Okay.
But they're just saying.
When I lived in Wisconsin, Culver's was a big thing.
Culver's around here now.
There's a couple around this area now, but Culver's was the big thing. When I moved up there, people were like, "Oh, you got to go to Culver's." Like, what's that?
If you're ever driving through Nebraska, check out a runza.
Okay.
You can Google it. RUNZA. I'm not paid for this either. It's just I lived in Nebraska for a while, and when people come through, you go, "Oh, get a runza."
Be odd if you were, because there's none around this area. I'll tell you that much. All right, next one up here. Switching things over to the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers will have 2 players with over 1,000 receiving yards this season. Cop or drop.
Interesting.
Adam Thielen had over 1,000 yards this past season. Now you add DJ.
I'm going to drop this.
Like Deontay Johnson in there? Okay.
I think Deontay Johnson will. It's funny, we were just talking about this. Who put out the list of number 2 wide receivers?
It was FanDuel, actually.
So FanDuel, Dennis was just telling me during the commercial break, because if you think that when we talk sports the entire time on air that we go to a commercial and talk about something other, no, we do this off air as well. He brought it up. He said Adam Thielen was ranked the 15th best number 2 wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
And my response was, hopefully by the end of the year, he's the number 3 wide receiver, because that means Xavier Legette took over as number 2. I think that's going to happen. So Deontay Johnson will get his 1,000. I think maybe halfway through, Adam Thielen will be on pace for 1,000. But as the roles change, Xavier Legette will take over and be the number 2. So you're more likely to have, 1,100, 1,200 for Deontay Johnson than like 700 or 800 for both Legette and Adam Thielen.
That's still pretty good, though.
Yeah, I mean, the passing game should be much improved. The entire offense should be much improved.
Well, speaking of the Carolina Panthers offense, the Panthers tied for dead last in the NFL last season in rushing touchdowns with just 7. They were tied.
Well, the good news is their former running back had a bunch of them for San Francisco, and they just paid him a bunch of money.
Let's count those. By the way, the Jets and Vikings also only had 7 rushing touchdowns last season.
They only had 7?
Panthers, yeah.
Gosh, I feel like I can name all 7. All right, sorry, keep going.
It's all good. The Panthers, cop or drop, will have double-digit rushing touchdowns this season.
I mean, you gotta cop that, right?
Yeah.
It's 7?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. 7. I think you get 7. Yes. Yeah, of course. I mean, if the offense is improved at all, 10 rushing touchdowns. The only thing we've heard from Dave Canales is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They went and beefed up the offensive line. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. How are they going to fix Ike Ekwonu at left tackle? Well, he's a mauler. What are they going to do? Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. What did they do in the second round? They drafted the first running back off the board in the NFL draft. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. How many running backs do they have on the roster right now? Last I checked, it was 7.
I think it's 7.
7. You can't have. Last year they had 7 rushing touchdowns. Right now they have 1 rushing touchdown to 1 running back. They're averaging 1 rushing touchdown per running back. Oh gosh, yes, 10. Heck, they better get 15.
By the way, Christian McCaffrey had 14 last year.
And that's not including receiving touchdowns.
Yep, that's just rushing. Yep. Just wanted
Chuba Hubbard should be. I mean, he should be at least a good goal line back. He should at least be able to pick up the 2 and 3 yards behind that revamped offensive line.
The problem was they never made it to the red zone. That's the issue. You got to get to the red zone if you want to score touchdowns. You heard of it? The red zone? Been there before? All right, next up here on Copper Drop.
I watch it on Sundays. They take me to all the action around the NFL.
Yeah, you don't see the Panthers there too often.
On defense.
Well, yeah, there is that. All right, let's actually switch things over to NHL. Let's switch things over to the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, this is Frank Seravalli. Before we get into our storm tracker here in about 4 minutes.
We have audio?
We do have audio.
You know, this is Jeopardy when they're like, this one's actually a video clue.
Frank Seravalli of Daily Faceoff, one of the big insiders when it comes to the NHL, had this to say about Martin Necas.
I would say that I wouldn't be shocked to see him move by Saturday. I think you're going to see a flurry of activity this week before the Cup final begins. There's been so many teams that are excited to try and get their hands on Marty Necas. I don't envision a path for him to come back to Carolina. I think Vancouver, Calgary, Columbus are at least 3 of the teams that I'm paying attention to when it comes to the Necas front, and he's been a very, very hot commodity in the league. I'll say that.
All right, so he said Martin Necas might be traded by this Saturday before Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Copper Drop, Martin Necas traded by
I'm
Game
sure
1.
There was a second part to that clip. As soon as he said by Saturday, my brain was just going like overdrive. It was overheating.
Yeah. Overdrive starts at 6.
It does. No, I'm dropping this.
Oh, you're dropping it?
The Canes don't have a GM.
So they have the Knights of the Round Table.
With empty seats.
Only one empty seat. That's fine.
I don't even... By Saturday?
By Saturday.
I mean, if they do, breaking news right here, 99.9 The Fan, we'll have all the conversation. But I mean, I think there's other things. We're going to talk about it actually coming up here in a few minutes on Storm Tracker. There are other things that go into how quintessential Martin Necas is to the Canes that haven't been decided yet. You definitely don't want to trade him and then learn that you need him. Yowzers, man. By Saturday. I don't see it. I'm dropping it. You were surprised I dropped that.
I was.
You think they're gonna move him by Saturday?
I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire.
I'm not saying they won't ever trade him.
It's got to happen.
There's been reports that 16 plus teams have reached out about Martin Necas.
Oh, and I can only imagine who else is talking to him.
It takes time to sort through all of that. Right, you got to let all 16 know, all right, last offer, best offer. All right, you're in third if you want to, a first-round pick might get it done. Like, all of that takes time. And then you're going to get the people saying, give me 6 hours to think about it, and you're going to say you don't have that much. I'll give you 4. Like, I just think there's a lot of moving pieces to this.
Okay, final one here. Here's Frank Seravalli talking about
more.
Yeah. Brett Pesce. Could he be on his way out of Carolina?
By this afternoon.
The Canes never really made him an offer. So he went through this season knowing that this was probably going to be the end. I don't think they ever really got serious in discussions. And for him, the big hit was just offensive production. Part of that is opportunity. Part of that is what you can do at even strength. And he just hasn't piled up the points in a way that makes him nearly as valuable as some of the other commodities on the market. And he's a solid player who skates so well. He's certainly going to be in demand, but not probably to the level that he was hoping to cash in on. And that could also potentially, if you want to look at it from the other perspective, be a pretty decent value proposition for another team.
All right, Copper Drop. Brett Pesce gone this offseason.
Yeah, I'm going to cop that. I just think it's the salary cap. It's not and you know what the funny part is, like, he doesn't have enough point production. I'm going like, he plays for the Canes, right? They value defense, mm-hmm. And then if you can give something on the other end, great. And by the way, if I do believe Pesce is going to be gone, which means he's going to be on the open market looking for a deal. If I'm his agent, that's exactly what I'm saying. Right? Oh yeah, his point production's down, but that's what that system asked him to do. If you want him to come in and score goals, if you want him to come in and point guard a power play, sure, why not? Like, I'm telling him that's the Canes that were holding him back because the Canes have a reputation of defense first.
Yeah, but they're also, their blue line's one of the top, if not the best in terms of goal scoring in the NHL.
Last couple years. But I just think you can spin that in any, like, if you're a defenseman and you play good defense, you can spin darn near anything else into your favor.
Sure.
And Pesci does play good defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you got Brady Shea and you got Jake Guentzel and you got Seth Jarvis and you got Martin Necas and you got Jack Drury and you got goalie and you got a lot of other things to deal with.
Speaking of Jake Guentzel,
Storm. What is it?
Track.
I want to say storm warning.
Storm
Tracker.
Tracker.
I was going to go storm warning, then I was going to go
Come
storm
on.
watch, the storm tracker. It's still relatively new. Storm Tracker at 4:33 every day. The latest rumors from the Carolina Hurricanes offseason. Dennis, what's the rumor we're tackling today?
So the rumor and the reports out there, according to Pierre LeBrun of TSN and The Athletic, that Jake Guentzel will test free agency. At least he's going to get to July 1st, most likely, to kind of see what's out there, see what the offers are. But that does not mean the Carolina Hurricanes are out of the running to re-sign Jake Guentzel.
It's not that I don't want to marry you. It's just I'm going to take off the engagement ring and go to the bar a few nights, and then we'll decide.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to go on some dates before we decide we're exclusive. That's it.
I'm not going to delete the dating app yet. That's what this is?
I got it. Say, hey, you know what? Before we go exclusive, I'm still it's still early.
Do you think
we've
he
had a
calls
lot
the
of fun
Penguins?
hanging out?
Do you think it's like I just want to go talk to my ex for one minute? I just want to see if
want to go hang out.
I just want to see what their mindset is. See if they've moved on.
I need closure.
I need closure.
I need closure. I need to figure out what's best. It's not you, it's me.
I was really good friends with their mom. I just want to go chat. It's a weird deal. This is also sports is a business, and it's always a business. Jake Guentzel is what? He's 29, 30?
Yeah, 29, turning 30 this season.
This is his last giant contract, right?
Oh, yes.
You don't want to be the nice guy and then years later be like, probably another $10 million would have been nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is your chance to cash in. So he's going to do it. He's going to play the field. His agent's going to talk to everybody. They're going to get a fair market value. And then if the Canes want to go ahead and meet that sort of thing, they can. But, to me what this says is there's no hometown discount for the place I spent like a month and a half. I'm open to coming and returning to the Canes, but then the Canes are going to have to win, right? They're going to have to make an offer that is at least comparable to the other offers I get. I'm not going to say, "Hey, I really enjoyed Cookout for those 7 weeks." And I'm gonna make it that be the deciding factor. It's just it's and that's fair to him, right? I'm a big Jake Guentzel fan. If you watched the Canes over the last month of the season and in the postseason, you're probably a big Jake Guentzel fan also. The interesting part is kind of what comes of this, because you're talking about Martin Necas during Copper Drop potentially being traded by Saturday. Let me ask you this. If Jake Guentzel doesn't return, can you even move on from Martin Necas?
Better get someone of quality in return.
Because and probably that decides what you need to get back, because then it needs to be a forward. Then you can't go, defending guy moving on. It's because if you lose Guentzel and if you lose Guentzel
mm-hmm.
and you lose Necas, you're looking at quite a bit of production that you need to replace in those first two lines of forwards. And maybe it's less of a luxury on what you bring back. It's not like, whatever the best value is. It's like, no, now we're hunting for need.
Yeah, I can also, if I'm Jake Guentzel, I can say, well, that William Nylander guy up there in Toronto, I produce as much offensively in the regular season as he does, and I've produced more in the playoffs and have been more successful in the playoffs
Guentzel
than that guy.
Is a good
and he's
thing.
making an $11.5 million a year. We'll start there.
Gentzel's a little bit smaller, right?
A little bit, not very much. Now, William
I'm trying to do
Nylander's
the
a couple
Canes job.
years younger,
I'm trying to knock down the.
Yeah, I know, but still, here's the one thing that Carolina
Do you think
can
he
offer.
gets to double digits?
I think he can be 10. I think it could get to that. Now, here's something that Carolina can offer that other teams cannot. Because he's currently a Carolina Hurricane, the Canes can offer him an 8-year contract. If he goes free agency, the most another team can do is 7. So that extra year guaranteed, it's like, okay, we can knock a little bit off the per-year price if you give me that 8th year. That's the big bargaining chip Carolina has.
Listen, I don't think that these guys have the egos. I think they're team first. I would be surprised if they gave him more per year than Aho.
I'd be shocked at that.
And he's what, 9.75, something like that?
Yeah.
So which is tough if the market says Jake Guentzel is a like 10.5, if he's like 10.5 per year, and the Canes are looking at it going, are we really going to give him more money than we just gave Aho? I just don't see it happening. I'm not saying because Aho would then, be upset, right? What's the difference between $750,000 a year to them, not us. But I don't know, man.
Maybe he signs equal contract.
How about that? If he just goes, give me the Aho.
I'll take that.
I'll take what he's having. Give me the Aho. That's not a bad move. That just becomes their thing. Gosh, I would really enjoy having Jake Guentzel back on the Carolina Hurricanes. And I want him playing on the same line as Aho because it's just fun to watch and they're good at it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly for Miller Lending, and of course that includes Gordon Miller. They are the home of the no-cost loan, which is it's a really great time to be somebody like Gordon that's been doing no closing cost loans since 1987, or Miller Lending that's been doing them here in the Triangle since they arrived, because there's starting to be some chitter-chatter in the industry about what's going on with all these costs and fees and who's making out with the costs and the fees. Where's that money going? Is it right? Is it wrong? Should they be allowed? Should they not? It's all just conversations at this point. But Miller Lending gets to go, oh, you guys are having that talk? We'll go down here. We don't have to be a part of that because we're the home of the no-cost loan. You don't have to worry about it. No third-party fees. 0 means 0 at Miller Lending. So plan to pay 0 in closing costs, right? Plan to, if you need to refinance when rates drop, get your monthly payment down, have no fees, have no cost, because that's what they do. And that's the best kind of planning, right? Oh, how much money do we need to set aside for that? None out of your pocket. Absolutely none. All right, fine. Then let's plan to do it as many times as we need to. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. I'll say it once again a little bit slower, 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. We have a feedback frenzy, some of your best comments from the internet about our show coming up next.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every point, every game, every layup, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game or a player goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365, official partner of the Charlotte Hornets. 21 plus only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
It's Men's Health Month. WakeMed Primary Care wants to remind you to schedule your annual checkup. It's important to know your health numbers related to cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight, and BMI before it leads to chronic diseases. Focus on your health and preventing disease by building healthy habits and getting that yearly checkup and those screenings you've been putting off. To schedule your appointment, visit wakemed.org.
Helping kids find their place, stay safe, and learn is the most fulfilling job imaginable. Be part of that journey with the Wake County Public School System. Now hiring bus drivers, mechanics, and instructional assistants, and offering competitive salaries, attractive benefits including retirement, and opportunities to grow. Whether you want a flexible job driving buses, maintaining and repairing them, or a rewarding position helping teachers, you'll love working for the largest school district in North Carolina. Apply now at careers.wcpss.net and discover a place where anything is possible.
Houston, permission to detach boosters.
Negative, Commander. You're off course for the moon. Sensors show something massive on board. Did you bring additional items?
Only the new loaded scratch-offs.
Those are loaded with $50, $100, $500, and $2,000 prizes. You're on a trajectory towards Mars.
Nice. First person on Mars. Take that, billionaires.
New loaded scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Massive amounts of prizes. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.8 to 4.88. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
This is Heather O'Reilly, and I am so excited about the soccer schedule this summer. Come see me hit the pitch June 5th through 10th at TST, along with some of the biggest names in soccer, sports, and entertainment. TST will feature 118 matches and 56 teams competing for $1 million at WakeMed Soccer Park. Tickets start at $38 and are selling fast. Visit thetournament.com/soccer while they're still available. Following TST, Man City will play Celtic at UNC July 23rd.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate. If your inefficient windows are costing you too much for air conditioning, that's a big deal. Now during Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace them and save a big deal too. Offer ends June 30th, so schedule your in-home estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Train heating and cooling systems are engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Let's get into a frenzy. Let's work ourselves into a feedback frenzy. We do this at least once a week, sometimes more. We look for your feedback, right? The listeners. We encourage you to do things like subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment on the videos or send something to us on social media. And then at least once a week, we collect some of the best forms of feedback and we bring them up and we respond. Dennis, what do you have?
So earlier this week, we had a conversation about what candidates potentially turned down the general manager position for the Carolina Hurricanes, seeing how it's reported that, you know what, you really don't have final say. You're just part of a larger group of people. Well, this one comes from JAH Lion on YouTube, says, I'm available for an interview. I've won 3 Simulation League championships, 2 Yahoo Fantasy championships, and have built a D-level beer league team that is looking to win our 4th championship in a row in the coming weeks. Question is, can you match up with the Magic 8 Ball? Our current interim general manager, the Magic 8 Ball?
Wait. Go, read the beer league stats again. A D-level
beer league that is looking to win their 4th championship in a row in the coming weeks. So this guy knows how to win.
I have a
this
problem.
This guy knows how to win.
I have a problem.
This guy's a winner.
I have a problem with this.
What's up?
Sounds like you have a C-level beer league team. If you're playing in the D level and you're winning championships every year, I think you need to boost up a level and you need to test yourself out.
Move up to the lower C.
I'm just saying.
But hey, consistent winner.
I mean, you're winning. Give you all the credit in the world.
Let's go.
But until you're at the top level, you shouldn't have a dynasty. You should move up.
Hire this man. Hey, you know what? Maybe the lower C teams are afraid. Maybe they're the App State of their league.
You're saying
they're afraid. We
need to come in as the government and say you're required to play them.
Exactly.
All right, I'm fine with that. I'm good with it. Hey, if I could get someone an interview, we'd be the GM of the Canes. How funny would that be if we did all of the negotiations on air? We became the GM of the Canes. And if we want to trade Martin Necas, we're like, you got to call the Heister Automotive Group hotline, and you got to do all negotiations live over the air.
Let's go.
You've heard of Hard Knocks? This is Harder Knocks. It is a more intense behind the scenes. Everything is live in real time.
All right, off that same video, because we talked about how Tom Dundon, there's quote-unquote meddling owners in pro sports, and how Tom Dundon is involved in all these decisions that take place, and how it's compared to David Tepper, where Dundon is successful, the Canes are successful, whereas the Panthers have not been under David Tepper. Same tenure in terms of time. This one comes from Steven. Dundon is great, and Tepper sucks. One bought a team that was terrible and made them great. The other bought a very good team and made them terrible.
And that's the difference.
And that is 100% the difference.
Yep. One meddles, and because he made a good team and made it bad, he stinks. The other meddles, and because he bought a bad team and made it good, he's awesome. You're not upset at the owner that meddles. You're not upset at the over-involved owner. You're not upset at the owner that marches into the war room and tells them who to draft. You're upset with the owner who loses. If Jerry Jones did no research, walked into the Cowboys war room on draft day and said, we're taking the guy from Arkansas because I went there, and that guy ends up being a Hall of Famer, no one's going to be like, he really messed up. It's when he walks in and he goes, I love this guy. He's a 5'5" running back, but his dad's our running backs coach. And then he doesn't end up playing much. That's when people get a little upset.
All right, next one. This one comes on the heels of us talking last week about there being a trade market for Martin Necas. This one comes from H. Livegood. It says, giving up Necas would be a huge mistake. He is a young and skilled player. Give him a bigger role and try to pry Gibson, referring to John Gibson, the goaltender, out of Anaheim with a smaller trade package instead of going for Linus Allmark or UC Saros. Allmark with Boston, Saros with Nashville. Both goaltenders.
Few things here. I don't know if Gibson's that excites me much more than Kochetkov.
I mean, Gibson's also expensive. He makes $6.5 million a year.
That feels like getting back on the retread treadmill.
Yeah.
The other thing is, Martin Necas is going to have fans. Like if they do trade him, there's going to be Canes fans that are bummed. Not to mention, and this is the fun fact about Martin Necas, if you scramble the letters in Necas, it spells out Canes. Popular jersey. Like he is a good player. He is young. Like you're not lying about any of that. But if you want to get something good in return for a trade, you have to give up something good. I would much rather trade somebody like Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who hasn't been as productive, for some awesome piece in return. But the problem is, no one else in the NHL is going to be like, yeah, give us. All right, so you want our shiny young player or our big contributing forward? Cool. You choose. Give us Necas or Kotkaniemi. Like nobody's going to do that, right?
Yeah.
You have to give up something to get something. So you're right about Necas. He is a good player. He is young. He can contribute. Maybe he would flourish in a bigger role. But that's the game, right? You gotta put some skin in the game if you want to get in the game.
All right, next one. We got a couple more here. We'll hammer through. We talked last week about, are the Panthers going to be better than what people generally nationally or media-wise are saying about how good they're going to be? Are they going to be better than expected?
They're just like 29th to 32nd on list of everything. You're ranking the running backs dead last, ranking wide receivers dead last.
Yeah.
It's just like it's an instinct at this point.
So Michael Hudson says the offensive line was the issue with the Panthers last year. They addressed this issue and hired Coach Canales, who believes in power run with play action built in. Panthers will win 9 games this year, and the defense will be better without Burns.
It's not just without Burns. It's without Burns. It's without Von Bell. It's without Dante Jackson. It's without
Frankie Louvu.
It's without Frankie Louvu.
I mean, they probably would be better without Dante Jackson, let's be real. But nonetheless.
Dane Jackson's the replacement. They didn't replace him with Darrelle Revis. What is it? 9 games. How'd we gloss over that? 9 wins?
Yeah, 9. Let's not bury the lead here, Tim.
9 wins.
Michael Hudson calling 9. Calling 9.
They were the worst team in the NFL last year. If you're 9, you're like, if not in the playoffs, you're flirting with it.
Yeah.
In that division, you might win it with 9 games.
If that's the case, Canales Coach of the Year.
If that's the case, Canales, Coach of the Year, Bryce Young, Comeback Player of the Year. What did he come back from? A bad rookie year?
From Frank Reich.
Can come back from that. Xavier Legette, Rookie of the Year. Like, if they win 9 games, there's going to be a lot of praise to go around. They're going to be dividing it up however they see fit.
All right, one final one here real fast. And we talked last week about part of our 99 questions leading up to the college football season. Which coach in the Triangle is under the most pressure this upcoming year? And Michael Holbrook said, I'm prepared to support Dave Doran and the Wolfpack football based upon what he, being Doran, his defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator, did with the 2023 team, which was the equivalent of magically pulling a live rabbit out of an empty hat right before my eyes. I've never seen him and his coaches work with this much talent before, so this is something new.
Well, I will say this. You know the rabbit out of the hat is an illusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fake.
No, this was a real rabbit.
This was a real
This
magic.
was a real rabbit.
All right.
Had a carrot and everything.
The defense had talent last year.
Oh, defense was stacked.
So, and Tony Gibson's great regardless, their defense coordinator, but their defense did have talent. That's kind of what we're saying. Like last year, any success was like, oh my goodness, did you see the magic trick that they pulled off?
Yeah.
This year, any lack of success is going to be like, how? You have so much talent. That's kind of why there's pressure. It's you know, if you overcook a burger, you know, a little ground beef on the grill, everyone's going to go like, that's fine, put some ketchup on it. If you overcook like Wagyu beef, everyone's going to go, you are an idiot. You just ruined that very expensive piece of meat.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference, right? If you say like, oh, last year they didn't have talent, but they won. It's like, yeah, it's great. Next year, it's like, if you don't win, you messed up the Wagyu beef. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's more from Dennis Cox.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loan. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Starting 5, coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Do you think it's fair to say that regardless, Anthony Edwards has already taken that moniker face of the league and run with it? I guess when I think about it, I think of regardless of the matchup, is this person who I'm going to revolve my night around? Am I going to say, oh, Luka's playing, I need to make sure that I'm sitting down to watch this game? Because
No.
I feel that way about Ant.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Hey, you love what you love. So save on your faves like a sausage McMuffin with egg or bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles for just $2.50.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Tim Donnelly here. Don't miss out on the sale of the summer from Zero Res. 3 rooms in your house, Zero Resified. Every surface cleaned for $109 plus $100 off your air duct cleaning. Give them a call, 919-915-0000 or ZeroResRaleigh.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander here from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. And I want you to swing for the fences this Major League Baseball season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because with Dinger Tuesdays, you can turn dingers into dollars all season long. Just bet on your favorite player to rip a moonshot, and FanDuel will give you $5 in bonus bets for every homer during that game. Yeah, home runs just got even better. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul to get in on all the Dinger Tuesday action. That's FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy? Now you can get 50% off any unlimited data phone plan. That's one line for only $25 a month, and you keep the phone you love. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. So find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Offer ends July 31st, 2024. Promo subject to cancellation after 12 months. Available exclusively online and in Total by Verizon stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device and SIM. See totalbyverizon.com for device compatibility and additional details. Taxes and fees may apply.
Raise on the sound of the radio.
Secure your tickets for Grammy Award-winning bluegrass band Steep Canyon Rangers with the North Carolina Symphony at UNC Health Summerfest. Don't miss the mastery of mountain music with North Carolina's own Steep Canyon Rangers this Saturday night at 8 at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater. Children 12 and under are always admitted free on the lawn. Tickets on sale now at ncsymphony.org.
Get ready for an amazing deal at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford. For a limited time only, purchase a 2024 Buick Encore GX with a jaw-dropping 0.9% APR for 36 months. And all current eligible non-GM owners and lessees, you're in luck. Receive an additional $750 purchase allowance towards your new vehicle. Buick, exceptional by design. Swing by Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford today, or find us online at wilkinsoncars.com.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. It's been hot and humid with a few showers and storms. Those storms stay in the forecast through the evening hours. Tonight's low 69. 40% chance for storms tomorrow afternoon, but it should ramp up overnight. Wednesday, the high 90.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 140 points today to 38,711. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. It's the summer of soccer in the Triangle, with the soccer tournament stars competing for $1 million and Manchester City taking on Celtic at UNC in July. Get discounted tickets at fcseries.com/Carolina and use code TRIANGLE.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five, and as always, we start with number 5. Christian McCaffrey, former Panther, reigning Offensive Player of the Year, current 49er, once again has reset the running back market, signing a 2-year extension with the Niners, which will have him averaging $19 million per year.
The vascular Christian McCaffrey with the triceps bulging.
There you go. That's one way to talk about Christian McCaffrey.
I had to dig up an old drop that I used to have.
McCaffrey will receive an additional $8 million over what he was scheduled to make in the first 2 years, while adding $24 million in guarantees as part of the extension. That, according to Adam Schefter's tweet. You do realize there is a world, right? There was a very obvious possibility that we'd be sitting here going into year 8 of Christian McCaffrey's Carolina Panthers Ring of Honor career, where he'd be challenging for, I don't know, conference or not conference, team records by now. Rushing yards, total yards, all-purpose yards, certain touchdown records. There's a world where that just happens. Instead, they traded him away. Dennis, can you run through all of the awesome things that the Panthers have done with the draft picks that they traded Christian McCaffrey away for?
Absolutely, of course. So the draft picks in return for Christian McCaffrey were a second-round pick, third-round pick, and fourth-round pick in 2023, and a fifth-round pick in 2024. The Carolina Panthers used that second-round pick in 2023 as part of the trade up from 9-1 to draft Bryce Young with the Chicago Bears. So that's what they did with that second pick. The third and fourth-round picks were packaged together, traded up in the third round in 2023 to the Pittsburgh Steelers so the Carolina Panthers could draft DJ Johnson, who was a healthy and active for a lot of games this past season for the Carolina Panthers. And then also they used the fifth-round pick this year as part of the Brian Burns trade with the New York Giants, which then turned to part of the deal with the Buffalo Bills to move up to take Xavier Legette, so they moved up from 33 to 32. So a piece of a piece.
So we kind of litigated this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, probably I'm 20% was a little too high. Probably
Maybe.
15% of Bryce Young.
Yep.
DJ Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And 10% of Xavier Legette.
Yeah.
For Christian McCaffrey.
That's it.
Who's coming off an Offensive Player of the Year season.
Mm-hmm.
Helped drive his team to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And they still think he's valuable enough to make him the highest paid running back for now the 5th consecutive year. And I believe that will continue unless someone else breaks the bank until the end of this current extension.
That's it.
All right. Fair. And I guess maybe Bryce Young. The Panthers really haven't even replaced the star power. Like, if you're going to buy a Panthers jersey,
mm-hmm.
who are you buying? There's a lot of 22 jerseys that are still just kicking around.
Derek Brown.
You can buy the defensive tackle jersey.
Hey. You know he's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, maybe. I always ask that question.
Maybe Legette?
Maybe Legette. Bryce Young, probably, right?
Probably.
You know what? The answer is probably a throwback.
Oh, just rock a Luke Kuechly jersey and you're cool.
Luke Kuechly, Mushin Muhammad would go.
Oh, there you go. Rock a Steve Smith jersey. You're all right.
Steve Smith with the senior on there.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Cam.
Oh, yeah, Cam.
Delhomme.
Delhomme jersey.
Daylight come and they got a.
Delhomme.
There it is. That's number 5. Let's jump to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
Major League Baseball has another gambling scandal.
Uh-oh.
Actually, it's not even a scandal. Do you know what's happening? These gambling situations are becoming more cut and dry. Apologize if I mispronounce it. Tucupita Marcano, a Major League Baseball player, Tucupita Marcano, has been permanently banned from Major League Baseball after it was determined that the infielder placed hundreds of bets on baseball, including wagers on games involving the Pittsburgh Pirates when he was with the team last season. The details get even... We'll do the serious part of the conversation, then we'll have the funny part of the conversation. The serious part of the conversation is, this is how it's supposed to work. Player bets on baseball, bets on games that his team is a part of, he gets a lifetime ban. The fact that it's now becoming business-like, open and shut, is much better. Remember when with the NFL players were betting on from the facility, and it became this big thing, and who else did it, and oh no, and they're suspended indefinitely. How long will that be? Some guys get 6 games, some guys get a season. Oh no, now with Major League Baseball, it's becoming like bada boom, you place the bet, see you later. I do wonder if it wasn't Tucupita Marcano, if it wasn't a bigger name player, if it would be more of a story, but still the open and shut nature of it, I think, is good for eradicating this from the sport. The funny part is, right? Serious part, done. Funny part is, Dennis, do you have the numbers on how much he won available to you?
Yes, actually I do. I can pull this up here real fast for you. So of the games that he bet on Major League Baseball, $150,000 roughly he bet on Major League Baseball. He
bet
won
$150K.
Won 4.3% of the time. That's it.
You know who's the big loser in this situation?
Him?
The sports books.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, wait a second.
Hold on, that was guaranteed cash. Keep this guy in.
He was losing 95+% of the wagers.
Oh, here's the other thing as well.
That's as difficult as winning 95%. Actually, depends which ones you're betting. I'm sure he's not just doing pick'ems.
He bet on 25 Pittsburgh Pirates games while he was assigned to the team, but he was injured during all of them, and he lost all those bets.
Losing them all.
Yeah.
So here's my guess, all right? This is just inferring. My guess is he draws up some wild bets.
Probably.
He's not betting like, oh, the Pirates will win or the Pirates will lose based on information I have. He's betting like there's going to be a leadoff home run parlayed with a loss by 10 runs or more, and there's going to be 27 strikeouts by the home team. Like, he's betting on some crazy stuff. I don't know how else you lose that often. I mean, 0-27 and you're a member of the franchise? That's hilarious.
Let's call it what it is. This dude's an idiot. This dude is dumb in more ways than one. First of all, betting on baseball is against the rules. It's been out there for forever.
And if you're going to do it, at least have your translator know he's going to take the fall.
Sure. Do that.
Not talking about any situation specifically there.
But also, you clearly don't know who you're playing against because no wonder you probably aren't. There probably was an effective player. This is the reason why we're just learning your name. You probably weren't that great of a player because you clearly don't know who you're playing.
You don't know
you
ball.
Can't even bet on.
You don't know baseball.
Exactly. You clearly don't know baseball. You're in the sport and you don't even know it. Sorry, this guy's dumb.
This guy is not the brightest. That's number 4. Let's head to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
PSLs are coming to NC State football.
Is that a band?
PSLs? I always fun fact about that. I always thought it would be funny if a band named themselves like a acronym like that. Like if they're the RLWs, and they just never told anybody what it stood for. Just never did. Matter of fact, it'd be better if they didn't even know. They just picked 3 letters randomly. Because I'm seeing this with like the Taylor Swift stuff, where everyone's like, oh, this is what it means, and they all dissect it themselves. Your entire career, you could have people thinking like it stands for, Rolling because they're big Rolling Stones fans, Led because they're big Led Zeppelin fans, and the W means woohoo, and that's what it means. And then at the end of your career, like your Hall of Fame induction, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you could be like, it doesn't stand for anything, guys. You've spent the last 30 years just racking your brains. But that's not what PSLs is. PSLs stands for personal seat licenses. They appear to be, on the surface, a money grab. So what you have to do is you have to purchase a personal seat license at a stadium for the right to buy season tickets to sit in those seats. And then as long as you have season tickets, you hold the personal seat license. And if you ever decide like, hey, I don't want to buy season tickets anymore, you then can sell the personal seat license to somebody else who wants to sit in those seats. Gives you a little bit of ownership over your seats, but it also, I thought buying the tickets would have given you a little bit of ownership over those seats too.
So basically you have to pay a cover charge to get in.
And then you still have to pay for your drinks.
And then you still got to pay for your drinks. But then when you leave, someone has to pay you for the cover charge.
You
to
can
then
sell
enter.
your cover charge.
Okay.
You're buying like a membership kind of.
Got it.
It's if you're a season ticket holder, it's going to cost you more money to have season tickets. But NC State needs the money. Why? Because they got to pay the players. Why? Because they got to pay the former players as part of that settlement that just settled a couple of weeks ago. NC State needs the money. Why? Because it's becoming more expensive to run a college athletics program, and you're going to get more scrutiny from the higher-ups because everyone's focused on the dollars and the cents. And you got to find a way to make up the money difference that is going to grow over the next few years between how much ACC teams are getting in their media deal and how much Big Ten and SEC teams are getting in their media deal. So don't be surprised if it starts to feel like State and other schools, UNC, Duke, if you're, Virginia fan, if you're a Florida State, they're going to get more stingy and they're going to get more money hungry because they got some cash that they need to come up with. Don't be surprised if you used to get the chicken tenders basket and fries and it used to be $9 and now it's $14. Don't be surprised if you used to get the foam finger every year to cheer on your team and it was $9 and now it's $14. Don't be surprised. It's cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Shout out to the Woo. Dollar bills, y'all. That's number 3. Let's go ahead and jump to number 2.
Just the two of us.
UNC baseball beat LSU last night in an old school exciting game. Dennis described it earlier as basically what you dream of as an athlete.
Oh, 100%.
Baseball's so good for it, right? Bottom of the 9th. 1 down, tying run on second. Like that kind of stuff, it's so good for it.
And Carolina was down 3-2 at the end of the third because LSU scored a run in each of the first 3 innings. Carolina was up 2-0 at the very beginning of the game. Then, they're down 3-2 from the third all the way to the top of the 9th. Tied it up in the 9th, won it in the 10th. Pretty awesome.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Oh, one of those.
How can you not? But you know what it was? It was an elimination game, right? It was a game that to make it out of the regional, you had to win. And, baseball is so good for it. I call it the Max Scherzer because I feel like it's just what he did best when he was in the majors is grind, right? So, great. You don't have your A game today. Well, you still got to win, right? Scherzer could show up and it's like, well, he's not really locating his fastball. Somehow he walks off the mound after 7 2/3 pitched and he gave up 2 runs. And it's like, how did he do that? He had his C- stuff today, but he just intensity and sheer force of will. UNC kind of similar, right? Like their bats didn't really wake up. Through 8 innings, they had 2 runs, and they got those right out the gate. So they went 7 kind of quiet, right? Not a lot of opportunities. They're trying to bunt for hits, and they're just going a little bit foul. They're like, trying to find a way to get something going, and they did at the last possible second, and then they did again at the last possible second. Shout out to UNC. Let's hear from their head baseball coach, Scott Forbes.
I mean, that's what it was supposed to be about. I told our guys this morning, this is why you come to UNC. To play a game like this, an elimination game, championship game, winner take all for a regional championship. But I did remind them we were at home, and I feel like we had some of that Bosch magic tonight, and a lot of that was our crowd. I don't know if I've been here a long time. When AMAG got that hit, that might be the loudest I've ever heard Boshemer Stadium, and that's just something that really makes me smile. But the thing that makes me smile the most is the look on these guys' faces. It's a special group, so I'm most proud of our team finding a way to win this regional.
Finding a way. It's a good way to describe it. They found a way. You know what else they did? They found a way to rub it in the SEC's face. They found a way to, again, send an SEC school home. Super Regionals are up next. There are 16 teams in the Super Regionals. 5 of them are ACC schools. All 5 of them, by the way, hosted their regional. All 5 of them, by the way, had an SEC team in their regional that was unable to advance because the ACC was winning. going to Omaha after the Super Regionals. Only 8 teams will go.
Mm-hmm.
The good news and the bad news is no ACC schools are facing each other in a Super Regional. So there's no guaranteed ACC teams to go.
True.
But it also opens up the possibility of all 5 being there and having over 50% of the World Series in Omaha be ACC schools, which there is a possibility.
And there's a chance, obviously, State and Carolina both make it. And I think they're on opposite sides of the bracket.
So you're saying it could be a national championship?
We might have. There's a chance where we're going to have Carolina State national championship.
In Omaha.
Just move it to Durham.
How funny would that be?
Like, hey, actually, you know what, guys? Go to Durham Bulls Athletic Park. We're going to move it right over there.
I wouldn't hate that at all.
I would not hate that one bit. That'd be awesome.
Probably not going to Omaha. Maybe we would. Would we go? If it's those two, we got to make some calls.
Yeah.
Let's get ahead of it, though.
Yeah.
Everybody, this is the advice. This is planning
This is what
ahead.
we're doing.
You need to start floating ideas to your bosses ahead of time, just in case NC State and Carolina. We were talking Durham. NC State and Carolina are in the national championship against each other.
Hope you're listening, Paul.
That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
Go one!
There's a lot of talk about Martin Necas when it comes to the Canes offseason. Will he be traded? Will he not be traded? Should they trade him? Should they not trade him? What could they get for him? Did they even have somebody that's allowed to trade him because they don't have a GM in place right now? There's a lot of other questions involving the Canes this offseason. One of them is about Jake Guentzel. Earlier today, we talked about it a little bit. Dennis, give us the latest on Jake Guentzel's offseason as a player they acquired at the trade deadline who is now going to be a free agent this offseason.
All right, so Jake Guentzel is, according to Pierre LeBrun of The Athletic and TSN, Jake Guentzel is probably going to reach free agency, which starts on July 1st. So he's probably going to reach that point, but that doesn't mean he would not re-sign with the Carolina Hurricanes. There's still the option out there where he would re-sign with Carolina. That is something that's still out there on the table, but he is going to more than likely reach free agency, which I know probably scares some Carolina Hurricanes fans, and that's totally fine. But nonetheless, he will get to July 1st and be a free agent, but Carolina still in the running to re-sign Jake Guentzel. That's the news out there.
So big picture, we're still waiting. Bigger picture, the Canes have, if he does hit free agency, the Canes will have given back one of their 2 advantages, right? Because one of their advantages is, since he was on the Canes this year to end the season, they can offer an 8th year on a potentially offered contract. Everyone else trying to get him as a free agent can only offer 7-year contracts. So that is part of their advantage. That is their advantage regardless of when a deal is signed. The other advantage is they can talk to him before free agency opens in early July. What did you say, July 2nd? Is that when
July
it opens?
1.
July 1. So they have a month here where they could work with it. Once he hits free agency, and if he's going to listen, then you give back some of that advantage, because once you make it to free agency, why wouldn't you listen to everybody and give them a full chance to plead their whole case? So I wouldn't say it's like the worst news in the world, but it's not good news, right? I think if you're the Canes and you want Jake Guentzel back, you would love to have that signed, sealed, delivered like Stevie Wonder before he has an opportunity to talk to anybody, right? Because do you know what I think of it like? And this is a different analogy than I used earlier. Have you ever seen I'll use college football as an example. Somebody commits, maybe to your favorite school. They commit to Dennis U, right? And they're like verbally, they do the whole thing. Maybe it's on ESPN U. They have the hats. They pick the Dennis U hat. They put it on. And you're like, yes, we got him. You celebrate. You can't talk about it publicly because he hasn't signed yet. But internally, you're like, hey, the big recruit signed. We're gonna have a great year. And then a couple weeks later, it's like, well, he's committed to Dennis U, but he's still going to visit Alabama. And he's still going to go on his official visit to USC. He's still committed, verbally, firm, 100% to Dennis U. But he wants to, go down and have a good time in Tallahassee. And you're just like, wait a minute. Right? That's kind of what I feel like this is. It's like, Jake Guentzel, yeah, Canes are an option, but I'm still going to go hear what everybody else has to say. And it's like, oh, whoa. Right? If you give them the opportunity to talk to you, give them the opportunity to persuade you, to make you an offer you can't refuse. The question, like we always try to take it one step further, is if Jake Guentzel is not back with the Canes, can the Canes trade Martin Necas? Can they afford to move on from a young talent like that? Can they find a way to make it make sense? Because then you're not just losing out one of your top 6 forwards. You're missing out on 2 of your top 6 forwards and guys that are dependent upon to find the back of the net.
Well, Necas might be dealt by this weekend, possibly.
Do you have that audio?
We do.
Let's hear it.
I would say that I wouldn't be shocked to see him move by Saturday. I think you're going to see a flurry of activity this week before the Cup final begins. There's been so many teams that are excited to try and get their hands on Marty Necas. I don't envision a path for him to come back to Carolina. I think Vancouver, Calgary, Columbus are at least 3 of the teams that I'm paying attention to when it comes to the Necas front, and he's been a very, very hot commodity in the league. I'll say that.
What outlet was that?
So that was Frank Siravalli of Daily Faceoff, who's one of the big I'd say, covers the entire National Hockey League, I should say. One of the big insiders, knows all the people.
Could be traded by Saturday.
Right? That's kind of exciting.
I mean, if it happens, if not, it's going to be the big womp womp womp. But if he's traded by Saturday, I mean I've already dubbed this offseason for the Carolina Hurricanes the offseason of change, right? It's like the summer of George from Seinfeld, the offseason of change. That would be, we've already changed the GM, or at least there will be a change of GM. There will be somebody else in that seat. That would be a heck of a kickstart. Trade Martin Necas by, what would that be, like June 10th? That'd be an unbelievable start to the offseason of change.
Pretty wild.
Not to mention, Pesce, Shea, Guentzel, a lot of free agents that might not be coming back. Offseason of change in full effect. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need to get some numbers game contestants, but first, here's Dennis Cox.
Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. Want to win a trip to the 84th annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and a custom Harley-Davidson performance bagger? Law Tigers are giving away the ultimate trip of a lifetime. Just go to stylininSturgis.com to enter. stylininSturgis.com to enter. Prizes include a VIP stay at Glencoe Camping Resort, custom Harley-Davidson built by Lane Splitter Garage, sound system by Rockford Fosgate, and so much more. You got to go to stylininSturgis.com to enter today, and do it today. If you've been holding off and like, oh, okay, I'll just do it sometime later, do it now. The time to enter ends this week. Go to stylininSturgis.com to enter again for a trip of a lifetime to the 84th annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally and a custom Harley-Davidson performance bagger. Law Tigers. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. If you're ever injured in a motorcycle accident, call them before you call your insurance company. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They understand what your bike and your gear are worth. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Let's get some numbers game contestants. Today, the prize for the numbers game is Dave Matthews Band tickets. Coastal Credit Union Music Park next Friday, June 14th. So if you want to see the Dave Matthews Band, you have to call in. You have to win the tickets in the numbers game. The number to call, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants for the numbers game. Coming up next.
The Adam Gold Show.
I came here from Baltimore where I was working on a morning show, and I felt like those are the greatest hours in the world. Seriously, I'm not even lying, because I was done every day, certainly by noon, sometimes earlier. It was like having every day off. I used to love the hours.
Yeah.
Man, my golf handicap was low. I was good.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Longer days mean longer rides. Make sure your bike, your ATV, your side-by-side, even your golf cart are the best around. From Sound Station and Security, we've got custom stereo systems, custom speakers, even video and LED lighting options for your bike, your ATV, and even your golf cart. Look the coolest on the road or at the lake, just tooling around. All available with installation from Sound Station and Security, with 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Online at myhotsound.com.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a champion in hockey. When I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers, the best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price appetizers, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and $6 Jamesons on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Grab a frosty mug and try the newest flavor from Bluebell, A&W Root Beer Float Ice Cream. A creamy vanilla-flavored ice cream swirled together with an A&W Root Beer flavored sherbet. A new way to enjoy your favorite root beer float.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream, available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Is your heating and air system ready for hot weather? Call Newcomb & Company today to schedule a routine maintenance and ensure your system is operating at peak performance. Become a Comfort Contract customer to receive priority service and a 15% discount on service calls and repairs for HVAC and plumbing work. Newcomb & Company has served the area as a Carrier Factory Authorized dealer for more than 3 generations. Turn to the experts today. Call 919-862-3000 or find us at newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company and Carrier. Your comfort is our business.
Soccer fans, what do Sergio Aguero, J.J. Watt, Ali Krieger, Chris Paul, Kari Lloyd, Pat McAfee, and Wrexham have in common? They're coming to Cary. TST, the soccer tournament, Year 2, Wake Med Soccer Park, this weekend. June 5th through 10th. Tickets on sale at thetournament.com. Last year, sold out. Tickets still available. That's thetournament.com. 118 games, $2 million prizes, a family festival of soccer. TST. Get your tickets now. Thetournament.com.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy? Now you can get 50% off any unlimited data phone plan. That's one line for only $25 a month, and you keep the phone you love. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. So find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Offer ends July 31st, 2024. Promo subject to cancellation after 12 months. Available exclusively online and in Total by Verizon stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device and SIM. See totalbyverizon.com for device compatibility and additional details. Taxes and fees may apply.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate at 866-90Nation or windownation.com.
Secure your tickets for Grammy Award-winning bluegrass band Steep Canyon Rangers with the North Carolina Symphony at UNC Health Summerfest this Saturday night at 8 at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater. Tickets available now at ncsymphony.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. We have a pair of tickets to see the Dave Matthews Band June 14th on the line. It is Coastal Credit Union Music Park next Friday, June 14th, Dave Matthews Band. That's what they're playing for. The people playing for it are Dave in Fuquay Arena and Brandon in Pittsboro. Dave, we'll start with you. As always, we ask a question, pick our favorite answer to see who gets to go first. The question for today is, we're getting ready to talk with the CEO of the soccer tournament. That's coming up later on the show. And the soccer tournament is bringing J.J. Watt, Chad Ochocinco, Pat McAfee to play soccer. So if you could pick any athlete, non-soccer player, to come play in the soccer tournament in this area, who are you picking? Dave, are you there?
Yep.
Or you're just thinking. All right.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. Are you a Packers fan? That's very specific. Yep. All right. Jordan Love. All I like it. I like the specificity of it. We'll go to Brandon in Pittsburgh. Brandon, same question to you. The soccer tournament's coming. They're bringing a bunch of non-soccer stars to come play in it. If you could pick anyone to come to our area, Wake Med, and play, but it can't be a soccer player, who would it be?
Man, I'm going to go ahead and pick Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Bring the eyeballs. There is a women's side of the tournament also. Both men and women are playing for $1 million prize. So let's roll with Caitlin Clark. I think that's the answer we have to go with. Both answers good and kind of off the beaten path, not the ones I would have expected. Brandon in Pittsburgh, you get to go first. Are you ready? All right. The categories you get to choose from. NFL Shades of Color, all players with colors in their name. NFL Gig'em, these are all Texas A&M alum. NBA current players only, or NHL Canes and Whalers only?
Let me go with color.
All right, these are all NFL players who have a color in their name somewhere. I'll give you the player's name and the team. You give me their jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions before we get started? All right, if you're ready to roll, your time will start when you hear the horn. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit Lions. Incorrect. Darrell Green, Washington Redskins.
28.
Correct. Raheem Blackshear, Carolina Panthers. Raheem Blackshear, Carolina Panthers.
Number 2.
Incorrect. Golden Tate, Seattle Seahawks.
Pass.
Back to Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit Lions.
11.
Incorrect. Raheem Blackshear, Carolina Panthers.
Number 1.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, you were one off right out the gate. You said 15. He wears number 14. Darrell Green with Washington, you got that one, number 28, the legend. Raheem Blackshear, running back, wears number 3. He also wore number 20. We would have accepted either. And Golden Tate with the Seattle Seahawks wore number 81. You did get one. If there's a tie, you're the winner by way of going first. So go ahead and sit on the line, and we'll see if it holds up. All right. That brings us to Dave and Fuquay Varina. Dave, are you there?
Yep.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL Gig'em. These are all players that played their college football at Texas A&M. At least part of it.
One.
You'll do that one? All right. Don't even.
Yep.
You know what you want without reading the menu. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. We're not wanting their Texas A&M number. We want the number for the NFL team that I say. You have 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Mike Evans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
13.
Correct. Myles Garrett, Cleveland Browns.
94.
Incorrect. Devon Achane, Miami Dolphins.
7.
Incorrect. Myles Garrett, Cleveland Browns.
95.
Correct. Dante Hall, Kansas City Chiefs.
16.
Incorrect. Devon Achane, Miami Dolphins.
Pass.
Johnny Manziel, Cleveland Browns.
2.
Correct. Dante Hall, Kansas City Chiefs.
82.
82 was right. A little late, but hey, that's just bragging rights. We'll officially put you down for a 3 because you got Mike Evans with 13, you got Myles Garrett with 95, and you got Johnny Manziel with number 2. Dante Hall, after the buzzer, you got 82. We would have accepted 20 as well. He wore both. And Achane with the Dolphins wears number 28. He was a rookie explosion last year. But you did get the win. Congratulations. You get to go see Dave Matthews.
Awesome. I did it.
You made Dennis.
Said I did it.
You made Dennis laugh with that one.
He did it.
So congratulations, you did do it. Sit on the line. Dennis will get some info that he needs from you for the tickets. I like that. I like a celebration.
Yeah.
I like a little.
By the way, what's the athlete you want to see at TST that's not there?
Ooh,
give me one. I have one off the top of my head.
Go ahead.
Cam
Newton.
Yeah. Cam Newton would be awesome.
I'm trying to think of somebody that, maybe somebody like Justin Jefferson. He's rich, right? I don't know what the rich has to do with it, but somebody that's got just or actually, I want to see Michael Phelps because somebody once told me that swimmers were the best athletes out of all the athletes, and I want to test that theory. And if Michael Phelps is out there, splashing around, I think that could do well for us. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. I want to tell you about my partners at Capital Financial Advisory Group, and of course that includes Coach Pete. You can call right now, 800-691-3215, right now, and text text my name, Tim, to 600-700, and you will get your very own box set of 7 baby steps from Coach Pete for free. And you'll also get a golden ticket. That's Coach Pete's special golden ticket, which has a $1,000 value for you to use on your very own complete and total customized retirement plan. That's important, right? Not everybody is going to have the same needs. Not everybody is going to have the same lifestyle choices. Not everyone is going to have the same funding when it comes to retirement. You want your plan to be complete and total and customized to your wants, your desires, and your needs. So if you're ready to tackle your financial future head on, Coach Pete can help you regain control of your financial situation once and for all. Again, call that number 800-691-3215 and let them know you heard about it here from me, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. And you'll get the 7 Baby Steps box set. You'll get the golden ticket. You'll get the total and complete retirement plan. All you have to do is call 800-691-3215. Let them know I sent you, or text my name, text my name, Tim, to 600-700. Again, that's my name, Tim, Tim, to 600-700. We're going to take a break. When we come back, like I said, we do anticipate hearing from the CEO of the soccer tournament, John Mugar, coming up next.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal on the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
For a limited time at Circle K, get 3 20-ounce ice cold Mountain Dews for only $5. Only on the Inner Circle app. Do the Dew.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Triangle High School Hockey League update.
Hi, I'm Steven Ismaili. I'm the president and founder of the Triangle High School Hockey League. High School Hockey League, we specify in the spring. We basically just give a chance for high school players to play in front of their schools. Everyone loves it. I mean, we get a lot of fans every game. Everyone just loves playing in front of their school.
Taking a look at the current standings in the Pure Division, in third place with just 2 losses is Millbrook High School. In second place with 7 wins and 1 loss is Green Level High School. And heading things up in first place with 8 wins and just 1 loss, congrats to Apex Friendship. In the combined division, South Apex is in third place with 5 wins and 4 losses. Raleigh comes in second with 5 wins and 2 losses. And leading the way in first place with 6 wins and 3 losses, it's West Cary. Remember, all games are just $2. For schedule times and to purchase tickets, visit trianglehshl.leagueapps.com.
Triangle High School Hockey League update brought to you by CK's Plumbing and Backflow, Wake County's first choice for residential and commercial plumbing services.
Adam Golden studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I have more windows in my house than doors, but if I wanted to change out windows, how long does this whole thing take?
So, typical job,
couple of days, 2-3 days, and that's complete. It's very unintrusive. A lot of these home improvement projects, it can take weeks or months. You can beautify your home. You can make it more energy efficient. You can make the windows that are a lot easier to use and clean, and you can do it quickly. It's 2 to 3 day job usually.
2 to 3 days. And how many different types of windows do you have?
Where do I begin?
We don't have that much time.
We got colors, options. These things are custom made to your specifications, sized perfectly to fit the openings.
Can you put a window where I don't have a window?
We do it all the time.
Unbelievable. Dallas Brule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com for windows, right?
Absolutely. And doors.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
It's the summer of soccer in the Triangle with TST Stars competing for $1 million and Manchester City taking on Celtic and at UNC in July. Get discounted tickets at fcseries.com/Carolina and use code Triangle. Again, fcseries.com/Carolina and use code Triangle.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Waiting to link up with John Mugar, the CEO of the soccer tournament. John Mugar, the CEO of the soccer tournament. Also, the basketball tournament. I respect his simplicity in naming tournaments. The soccer tournament, the basketball tournament. You've probably seen the basketball tournament it's been on television. They have those teams of like alumni from colleges and things come together and they play for a big prize. The soccer tournament is coming to Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, June 5th to 10th. That's tomorrow. It'll feature 118 matches, 56 teams, and 2 separate $1 million championship prizes. The soccer festival brings together the biggest names in soccer, sports, and entertainment, including Heather O'Reilly, who we had on the show not too long ago. She'll lead the U.S. women's team. Sergio Aguero has committed to a team of his own. Mario Balotelli is in for Nani FC. And NFLers J.J. Watt, Pat McAfee, Ocho Cinco will all take the pitch with teams as well. So it's all starting tomorrow at Wake Med Soccer Park. And I just got the thumbs up. We have John on the line, the CEO of the soccer tournament. John, thank you for joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
Did you have to vet J.J. Watt and McAfee and Ocho Cinco for soccer skills? Because you're kind of throwing them into some legit competition with this tourney.
They vetted themselves, and they assured me there would be nothing to worry about. They've been in extensive training for a little while, and we saw some video this morning of J.J. Watt in the goal, and I think he's holding up. First of all, I think this is really a cool deal, and I think it's an on-ramp for soccer fans, so we're really excited that it's coming to our area in Cary. But there's also $1 million on the line on each side, like the men's and the women's bracket. How do you kind of divide the line or play both sides of this is an entertainment product and you want Pat McAfee to bring the circus and the eyeballs and everything, but also there's $1 million competition going on and this is like real legit soccer. Yeah, it's a meritocracy. It's a brutal format, and the format really speaks for itself and takes care of itself. So if people aren't coming to win and aren't taking it seriously, then they're going to get washed out pretty quickly. And if people like that surround themselves with legitimate players and they train and they take it seriously, then they're going to go far.
But as you mentioned, it's $1 million winner-take-all prize for the women. And with only 8 teams, that equates to 4 hours of soccer to $1 million. So it's absolutely unprecedented.
John Mugar, CEO of the soccer tournament, joining us here. You bring up the women's side. Why start up the women's tournament this year? Last year was so fun with the men's side, and obviously that's expanding and getting bigger. Why bring the women into it, with especially last year being co-ed?
We had participation from Heather O'Reilly's U.S. women's team last year, and it was so inspiring to not only the fans here, but also myself, that they would throw themselves out there and amongst that competition that I really knew, and the team really knew, just coming out of that event, that we really wanted to give them their own event and give them their own stage. And so we started working with Heather on it and working with some other teams on it, and it became apparent that this is a hotbed for women's soccer too. So why not give it a go?
Do you recruit at all? I know, like, I was on your website, and it's kind of the open application process. Are there like big fish that you think you can land for future versions of the soccer tournament?
We get the word out. So that's really where the recruiting starts and stops. We let them know what it is, where it is, what the benefit of this whole program would be for them. For a lot of these teams coming in from overseas, it amounts to an exposure play in the U.S. So for the same reasons they do a friendly tour here in the States, they could come to TST with a different variation of their team and participate and get the same fan touch points that a friendly tour would get.
So you are also the CEO of the basketball tournament, and I was talking about it. I don't know how long you're on the line before you jumped on. That's become a whole massive thing. You can see it on national television. The teams are starting to have their own personalities. What have you learned from the basketball tournament that you're bringing over to the soccer tournament?
Yeah, it was 10 years of trial and error. Lots of mistakes in that 10-year period before we shifted into this new sport. And we used a lot of those learnings to make this a smooth lift. So the second year of TST is really the equivalent of where we were in year 7 or 8 of basketball, just because we did have so many learnings. It's really, what's unique about this model is really this concept that it's open to all. So we want a very wide, diverse cross-section of the types of teams that play, whether it's an indoor soccer player, a Premier League team coming into play, people you've never heard of before, celebrity. And that's really, I think, our bread and butter and what we've learned from basketball that works really well. We have alumni teams, but also teams of people who grew up together and teams of people you never heard of before, and that's what makes the model so special.
What sport is next?
Golf.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I would love, we have great models for golf, and we've talked about that, and women's basketball, and we've talked about flag football, and there's really every single sport you could do a high stakes open to all format in. You just have to make some tweaks along the way.
Earlier in the interview, and we're talking with John Mugar, CEO of the soccer tournament, coming to Wake Med Soccer Park starting tomorrow. He's joining us on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. You mentioned how the rules are kind of cutthroat. How is this different than when we do watch a Premier League game or a college soccer game? What are the rules like?
It's 2 20-minute halves, and then at the end of the second 20-minute half, we set a target score, which is the leading team's score +1, and the first team with the target score wins. And in that final period, which we call target score time, we pull a player off the field every 3 minutes. So it goes from 7-on-7 to 6-on-6 to 5-on-5. There were a couple games last year we got down to 2-on-2. It's absolutely electrifying, and we'll have 118 games over the next 6 days here at Wake Med, and every single one of them will end in a game-winning goal, which is the most exciting play, probably not only in soccer, but maybe in all sports. We do something similar with TBT, with the Elam ending, where all games end in a game-winning shot. And what happens is that teams have to play to win instead of playing not to lose. And so there's aggressive, offensive-oriented play all throughout.
No prevent defenses is what you're saying. None of that, just holding on.
The clock is an unbelievable crutch. And so when you take that away to the leading team, then you really see who the clutch players are and who's going to step up and end the game, as opposed to the type of player who maybe needs the clock to close it out.
John, before we let you go, one more here. I know, and I've heard it in the past, and I've seen it on your website, but I know North Carolina legend, hoops legend, Chris Paul is involved as an investor. after his basketball career is over, right? Hopefully not for a while, and there's rings involved. Have you gotten a commitment from him to put together a soccer team?
It's interesting. I just heard through somebody else last week that he has committed to put a soccer team in, and I'm saying, Chris, what about basketball? I have to talk to him about that once he lands in Raleigh tomorrow. But yeah, I think we would love to have him out here, and he's just fallen in love with the sport because of TST, I think.
Every athlete thinks they can play another athlete. We're learning that, and some arguments happening all over sports. And this is a good way to test it out, right? We'll see if J.J. Watt can play in goal, or if Pat McAfee's leg, the punting leg, really translates. John,
I think we all know it will.
I hope so. He talks a big game, so I hope so. John, we appreciate you for jumping on the phone. I'll give everyone the details again, but we'll let you get out of here. So thanks one more time.
Thanks so much, Tim.
There you go. John Mugar, CEO of the soccer tournament, coming to Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary tomorrow through the 10th. 118 matches, 2 separate $1 million prizes, and a bunch of stars coming to the area. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we get out of here, I need to tell you about my partners at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, specifically their Fox and Bailey watch shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh, where they are selling the finest watches, hats, electric bikes, men's jewelry, even records. But I'm partial to the timepieces. I'm a watch guy. I know many of you out there are as well. It's a space that pays tribute to the early days of Bailey's Fine Jewelry, which also pays tribute to the early days of watchkeeping. You're talking the largest selection of pre-owned and vintage Rolexes in North Carolina. You walk in, you go to the Fox and Bailey watch shop to the right. There's a big case as soon as you walk in, showcasing the pre-owned and vintage Rolexes, and they are the ones that have nicknames, right? They have the Hulk, they have the Pepsis, they have these nicknamed watches that have become iconic. And if you're interested in those, go ahead and check them out. Again, large selection of pre-owned timepieces, the largest selection of pre-owned and vintage Rolexes in North Carolina, located in the Fox and Bailey watch shop inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. Make sure they know we sent you. Overdrive is coming up next here on 99.9 The Fan as we talk a little bit about the ACC being awesome. I'll explain why coming up next. Stick around.
We're jamming your June with championships. The NBA Finals.
The Celtics have finished the sweep. They rally again, and it's on to the NBA Finals.
The Stanley Cup Finals.
Reinhardt scores! The Panthers win Game 4.
The U.S. Open.
Payne Stewart is the 1999 U.S. Open champion. Oh, my.
Catch every winning moment with us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
It's Men's Health Month. I'm Tim Donnelly here with Dr. Parikh of WakeMed Heart and Vascular. Doctor, you are a cardiologist who specializes in heart failure and pulmonary hypertension. Let's start with the simple things here. What exactly is pulmonary hypertension?
Pulmonary hypertension is a condition that affects the blood vessels in your lungs. We know our blood pressure in our body, which we get from the arm blood pressure cuff, but we all actually have a separate blood pressure that exists in our lungs. It's harder to measure, but pulmonary hypertension really just refers to when those pressures in the lungs are higher than they should be. Pulmonary hypertension can develop on its own, or it can be caused by other conditions. It can cause people to feel tired and short of breath and cause trouble with the heart, and specifically the right side of the heart. And it can cause the right side of the heart to get weaker over time because it's pumping blood into those higher blood pressures.
For more information on pulmonary hypertension or heart health in general, go to wakemed.org.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary. Date the rate, marry the house. A phrase often used by realtors to describe the difference between keeping your new forever home as opposed to your mortgage rate, which you'll only keep until something better comes along, kind of like speed dating. A recent study by the Wall Street Journal further supports this notion by finding the average life of a loan to be less than 4 years. Their suggestion? Find a no-fee loan, which is exactly what Miller Lending has been telling you since 1996. With no closing costs of any kind, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance each time something better comes along. So while builders promote buy-downs with over $10,000 in closing costs, or lenders advertise crazy low rates with even more, Miller Lending continues to be the leader in the no-cost mortgage. So before you throw away thousands of needless fees, Pick up the phone and call your local neighborhood lender, Miller Lending and Carey, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, "It's bow time." So don't wait. Grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Sanja loves to bake, but her feet, they were throbbing. Then one day, I found a solution. Arch supports from the Good Feet store. Have foot pain? Good Feet could help.
You too can live the life you love with Arch supports from the Good Feet store.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
6 o'clock, check of your weather here on 99.9 The Fan. Temperatures tonight going to be around 68, 69 degrees. Chance for rain as well. Tomorrow, expect some more humidity. Highs around 86, lows tomorrow 71. It's the summer of soccer in the Triangle with TST Stars competing for $1 million and Manchester City taking on Celtic at UNC in July. Get discounted tickets at fcseries.com/Carolina and use code TRIANGLE.
It's 6 o'clock. Time to shift into overdrive. All highlights, no filler. As we run it back from the drive with Tim Donnelly.
5 teams that hosted regionals. All 5 of those teams advance out of the regionals to the super regionals, going a combined 15-1.
Let's go.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the ACC to talk their talk. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the individual schools that advance to the super regionals to talk their talk. It is time for the ACC to stand on business. Results. And if you think I'm going to miss up an opportunity for the ACC to stand on business on this show, you're darn crazy. First of all, let's hear from UNC baseball coach Scott Forbes on the big win for UNC.
I mean, that's what it was supposed to be about. I told our guys this morning, this is why you come to UNC. You know, to play a game like this, an elimination game, championship game, winner take all for a regional championship. But I did remind them we were at home, and, you know, I feel like we had some of that Bosch magic tonight, and a lot of that was our crowd. I don't know if I've been here a long time. When AMAG got that hit, that might be the loudest I've ever heard. Boshemer Stadium, and that's just something that really makes me smile. But the thing that makes me smile the most is the look on these guys' faces. It's a special group, so I'm most proud of our team finding a way to win this regional.
Finding a way, they did. No help, by the way, from the selection committees, the seating committees, from the NCAA that put LSU in their regional at Chapel Hill, which UNC was the 4th highest ranked team in the country. LSU is way too good to be put into that regional. Put them in Greenville against the 16th seeded ECU Pirates. How many times are they, meaning the powers that be across multiple different sports, going to stack the deck against the Atlantic Coast Conference only for the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC, to continue to overachieve against expectations, to continue to overcome any obstacle put in their way? All basketball season, what did we talk about? Why are the net rankings so low on the ACC? Why is no one giving respect to the ACC? Why is Joe Lunardi saying as few as 2 teams from the ACC could make the NCAA tournament? Why, during the football season, do we watch all of these conferences that the ACC has winning records against as a conference put 7-8 teams in the top 25? Meanwhile, the ACC is lucky to have 3. Why, when it comes to bowls, does the ACC win an overwhelmingly higher number than would be expected based on their rankings? Why, when it comes to the NCAA tournament, does the ACC, more so than any other conference, routinely win beyond their seeding? And why does baseball get treated the way they're treated, only to see the ACC continue to win, continue to overachieve? I think it's because we're not giving them credit. And by we, I mean the selection committees. It seems like almost even when they are given credit, right? 5 ACC teams were given regionals to host. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's like, they are respected. Well, why is there an SEC team in every region that
Every
the
single
ACC
one.
hosted? 5 regions. There's an SEC team in all of them. Almost as if the selection committee was like, all right, I guess we got to put him in there, but watch what we can do. But we'll show them. We'll throw a real baseball conference team in each of their regions. Well, now those SEC teams are sitting at home because you sent them into ACC country. And I know Duke went down to an SEC program and they didn't make it out. But guess what? Duke should have been hosting too if the disrespect didn't start. They're an ACC champion. They won the conference with all these super regional participants. Does the ACC need a better publicist? Does the ACC have enemies somewhere with power that is holding them back as much as they can up until the games can be settled on the court, on the field, on the diamond? Does the ACC need ESPN to step up and have their back as a media partner? Do they need to say, hey, we've got to deal with you. We need you in those quiet rooms that make decisions to be standing up for us? Does the ACC need to be more selfish and less fair? Because the ACC oftentimes is represented on selection committees, and I'm going, what, did you just be quiet during the portion where you put everybody above them? Right? Maybe you were doing the little league parent who's the coach and is actually way harder on their child than anyone else's to make it obvious that there's no coaching preference. So we're sending ACC representatives to selection committees, and they're the most critical of the ACC.
That team stinks.
trying to prove that they're not showing favoritism.
That team doesn't belong. Get them out of here.
Meanwhile, the SEC and the Big Ten are like the worst of the worst parents. Their kids like playing shortstop, batting third, no matter how good they are. They're out there going, nah, Kentucky's the best thing I've ever seen on a baseball field. Really? No, you guys don't understand. LSU needs to go to Chapel Hill because they're the premier event. And it's wait a second. Maybe the ACC just needs to get more selfish because I'm I'm not going to stop doing this, what I'm doing right now. I'm not going to stop advocating for the ACC when it's so obvious, and they continue to prove it with results, right? The best way to find out who's the best baseball team, play baseball. They got 5 going to the Super Regional. The best way to find out who's the best basketball team, play basketball. They advance in the NCAA tournament further than other conferences every year, regardless of how many teams they get in the tournament or what their seeding is. So I'm not going to stop, but I wish I could. Right? I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish that one time the ACC got the benefit of the doubt rather than, if they're equal, we'll give it to the SEC. Well, all things being equal, the Big Ten's more difficult competition. But why? What makes that true? The results on the playing field, the results on the scorebook don't. And even if you find the one-off year, right, because there's people that can turn stats into anything, go with the biggest sample size you can find. Look at a decade of results, right? Look at the ones that the flukes will be washed out. The ACC is good at sports.
They're great at it.
It's sometimes that simple, and it's why. In conference realignment, and it's why, I'm always worried when the Florida States or the Clemsons tried to upend things because I'm going, that's not good. I saw someone ask if NC State had the best year because they're obviously in the Super Regional. They had 2 Final Four teams. They had a top 25 final ranking football squad. They have a quality cross-country program. They even have a 2-time champion cheese chaser. If NC State had the best athletics year of any team in the country this year. Now, I'm not going to go through and look, well, actually, Stanford's water polo team. I'm not going to go through all of that. But what I am going to say is, I guarantee whoever asked that question didn't come from an SEC or in a Big Ten school.
Right?
It's a fair question. The ACC, did they have the best year amongst college sports for any conference? It's a fair question. And I'm not talking about just count national champions. I'm talking about top to bottom. When you get to the postseason and the scores count, right? When there's elimination games, who top to bottom played the best? Now imagine what that might look like if all the teams that deserve to be in the postseason actually were. If Wake Forest and Pitt and these other schools weren't in the NIT. If Duke got to host a regional. If there was a legitimate chance of Florida State making the college football playoff as an undefeated Power 5 champion.
Yeah.
The disrespect doesn't end with any one team. It doesn't end with any one sport. It is unanimous, and I don't get it, and I don't like it, and I just want the ACC to get their credit. Overdrive will continue here on 99.9 The Fan with a big contract for Christian McCaffrey. Stick around.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Do you think it's fair to say that regardless, Anthony Edwards has already taken that moniker face of the league and run with it? I guess when I think about it, I think of regardless of the matchup, is this person who I'm going to revolve my night around? Am I going to say, oh, Luka's playing, I need to make sure that I'm sitting down to watch this game? Because
No.
I feel that way about Ant.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
This is Creighton Blackwell with Coastal Credit Union and 99.9 The Fan. Today, we're at Athens Drive Magnet High School, and we're here to celebrate our next Scholar Athlete of the Month, Connor O'Toole.
What does winning this award mean to you?
I think it means a lot. Past 4 years, I've put in a lot of work in athletics and in school. I'm glad to see it's paying off, but also all my friends have helped me along the way to elevate my game.
You're involved in a service organization. What kind of impact does this work have in other aspects of your life?
Yeah, so it's not just about getting those service hours in. For example, for Science National Honor Society, when we're taking those invasive plants out of the lake, that's a lake that we run every day at practice. And it's just good to see the community cleaned up, and it's helping everyone around it as well.
Having Connor on our teams has really just meant a consistent, reliable leader and somebody who kids are drawn to. So you ask him to do something, he'll get it done right the first time. And then other kids will follow his lead, really in anything.
He's always pushing us to be a better person, not just on the track, not
not just during cross country, but, in school and everything.
It's just that family feeling. We're all working together. For friends, we practice together, we train together, so that means we're getting better together. And it's just a great thing to be a part of, having so much support.
Such a hard-working kid, and I love him to death. He motivates me every day and pushes me to my limits.
Congratulations, Connor.
For 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, head to WRALSportsFan.com, keyword award.
Get bonus days to save during Window Nation's semi-annual sale now through June 30th. Get 50% off all windows along with no interest for 5 years, plus a bonus 10% savings when you schedule an estimate. If your inefficient windows are costing you too much for air conditioning, that's a big deal. Now during Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace them and save a big deal too. Offer ends June 30th, so schedule your in-home estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Thinking of popping the question? Diamonds Direct has an offer you can't miss. This month only, buy a natural diamond engagement ring of 1 carat plus and receive a free natural 1 carat diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. Imagine giving her the ring of her dreams and her wedding gift all at once. No one provides education, selection, and value like Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet from your friends at Diamonds Direct won't last long. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey, it's Victoria with 99.9 The Fan. It's Men's Health Month, and I'm talking with Dr. Ashish Patel with Wake Med Heart and Vascular. He's an electrophysiologist, and one of the things that you deal with is atrial fibrillation, or AFib. What exactly is that?
So atrial fibrillation is the number one most common heart rhythm condition out there, and it, in general terms, is an irregular heartbeat. Our heart has a normal cadence. It goes lub-dub, but when it gets irregular, it's called atrial fibrillation. Now, the problem with that is that it can sometimes lead to strokes, heart failure, and other bad consequences. So we really want to be very careful when we manage our patients and help patients detect AFib when it's happening.
And what can a lifestyle change do to help this?
It's a huge part of this. So controlling blood pressure, controlling weight. If you have sleep apnea, using your CPAP mask is critical. So lifestyle is a big part of AFib management.
Well, if you need more information, head over to Wake Med Heart and Vascular. Just visit wakemed.org.
Hey, friends, it's Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. The NBA playoffs have certainly tipped off, and it's not too late to get in on the action with FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to use on same-game parlays, live bets,